Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Just the want to really, to shift the mentality with Coach Eck, just how passionate he is about that. It just make us want to like go out there and make plays on special teams just for him and know that we're going to be juiced up and pumped up and we want to be the best.
You know, it's iron sharpens iron with us and just competing every single day, trying to get the best out of each other, you know, help each other out when we're watching film or we're out doing indie or just kind of things like that. We always want the best out of each other.
That means a lot. Personally, I haven't been a part of a shutout before, so to be a part of that was amazing. And being able to see the young guys get in the game, be able to dominate the way they did, it was a great feeling.
It's just our process. You know, it's not looking forward, not looking back to anything that we did. And it's just focusing on the next task at hand and the next operation that we got going on. So the guys understand that they're focused, and I think that's the biggest change from last year to this year is guys are not worried about outcomes and they're not worried about, you know, the next thing that happens, but they're worried about right now.
I think we made huge improvement from week 1 to week 2. That's something Coach was talking about throughout the week, was making that big jump. As far as just gap discipline, getting off blocks, using our hands and being physical, you know, that's something he preached all day, and, you know, we practice very hard here. So I feel like we were improving week to week, and that's something that you want to see.
Flying by. I mean, I got here in February and now we're going into week 3. I mean, it's blink of eye, it's going by fast, but it's been awesome. You know, I really, you know, appreciate each and every opportunity and, you know, every snap that I've gotten, and, you know, just haven't looked back with it.
Good morning. Welcome in Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Centrist Federal Credit Union. That's DB. I'm Ravi, Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. What's up, DB?
How we doing?
Oh, I'll be honest, I'm a little off.
Why? Because the blinds are up?
No, because I messed up when I pulled it. I parked in the wrong spot.
Oh, you're one over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And by the time I realized it, I was like, I don't want to go back and fix it.
You know what it is?
What's that?
You were a couple minutes earlier than normal. So
I
threw
know.
you off.
Threw my whole thing off. I was like, whoa, what's going on here?
I know. It's all right, though. At least relatively straight.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I'm in the lines. That's important to me. Outside of that, you know, it kind of is what it is.
Hey, listen, sometimes you just got to make do. I got a couple, you know, we have our sticker folks. And
Yeah.
do logos and graphics. I need for them to come up with a bumper sticker.
Okay.
You ready?
I'm ready.
If I pass you on the right,
Mm-hmm.
you're an idiot.
I'll take it.
Can we do that?
I'll see what they can do.
If I pass you on the right, you're an idiot.
I thought you were going to say you've earned it.
No. Well, I mean, kind of.
That too, right?
Yeah.
It's not like you're passing people on the right who, you know, are driving properly.
It's incredible. And I'm officially, it's early, man. It's only week, 3?
Yeah.
I'm already sick of going to Lincoln.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm moving. I can't wait.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah, I'm about to get up out of here.
Get yourself a little nice place in Waverly?
Yeah, I don't know. I take a shanty at this point. I mean, give me some running water, clean shower.
So you definitely,
and a fridge.
You don't want.
I get it. I don't need a fridge for my food.
I wasn't even gonna go there. I was like,
I need a fridge for my milk.
I was like, you don't need a toilet.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Toilet's good. Running water is always. I think running water includes.
Does that imply toilet?
A toilet.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. Although
I was focusing on the shower because I was like, okay, you have to have a shower because you shower like 8 times a day.
Yeah. So
if you're not,
I have some choices to make.
Yeah.
Because I got 3 in yesterday, and I've incorporated some liquid soap.
Wait, so I got to figure out when was the third. First before you came here, second before you went to practice.
Big Red Wrap Up.
Oh, there we go.
And the more fragranty
Mm-hmm.
the soap is, the more alcohol it probably contains.
Mm-hmm.
So it's drying my skin out.
Yeah, you got to be careful with the fragrances.
Yeah, and I've phased out of what's my go-to lotion?
CeraVe. CeraVe, yeah.
And I've been into baby lotion.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why. But I don't know. I don't think it works. I think it just smells good. I get it. See, because I think babies have naturally soft bundas and hands anyway. So I'm not sure it's the lotion that's doing it.
Yeah.
So I might No, I'm gonna have to go back to my CeraVe.
Yeah, you gotta. So, are you sure it's the soaps or is it the lotion switch?
It was the soap. Oh, Ralphie boy.
I have no idea. Is that Outsiders?
No, it's whoa. No, it's A Christmas Story. Good
Oh,
Yeah, he pretended to go blind because of the lie in the soap. He said a potty word.
oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
He was trying to help his dad change a tire, and he lost the bolts.
I know this is a hot take for some people.
I know you don't like A Christmas Story.
I don't like that movie.
Yeah, I do think it has not aged well. I think it was funny when I was, yesterday when I was immature, but I think my comedic levels have shifted, much like my taste buds.
Yeah,
It's not a very good movie.
there's I never liked it. I think it just made me uncomfortable.
Right, because you can't put your arms down either.
I don't know.
Don't matter to me.
Oh, no.
Don't matter to me.
No, I just didn't. I don't know.
Season must have started. We haven't heard much from Shetty Ure.
I'm just thankful for
Well,
the
listen, he's got
opportunity.
I do know that Deion knows who he wants to play at quarterback.
He's got to get those reps in. Yeah, apparently it's Staub.
Hey, my
You
man-
ain't make me.
My man will say anything at a presser. He keeps it a buck.
What does bolstered mean?
I keep wanting to call him.
You're going to end up liking him. It doesn't really matter.
You
what
be
you.
you.
Eh.
No, you've drawn your line in the sand.
Eh. Well,
But you're going to end up liking Deion.
I like him. I like him more than I like Dan Hurley, so that's progress.
Yes, it's been
All this is subjective.
it's been a long time since old Dan the man has made his presence felt on this show.
Well, yeah, we got probably another month and a half before that starts to
All I ever wanted was a black Grand National.
it starts to rear its ugly head again. You know.
Hey, Shane, I don't know if you can reach the thing that controls the blinds, but man, we probably need to put those down a little bit. I feel very exposed. Like you care though. I don't even know if he can reach those silver.
Oh,
rings.
you betcha. Oh,
I think he's just ignoring you. Like there's just that awkward silence there.
That far right one is up entirely too high.
Yeah, that one is.
It's too high.
That one's up there a little bit.
Oh, you can reach it. Keep going.
Yeah, I think-
Hey, about shoulder level for you, buddy. Thank you. That metal one will work too.
What a nice
That's
nice producer
Doesn't
he
it
is.
feel exceptionally bright in here?
I think it's the same brightness as it is most days.
Yeah.
I think so. I can't tell.
I stopped at my little knockoff gas station this morning.
What's it?
It has been infiltrated. It has got a whole new. It's had its guts refurbished. It's under new leadership.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
No, you should swing by there sometime.
I'm
You
good.
don't have any inkling to. You don't have any reason to go that way
No, I don't.
because you get on the interstate at L, correct?
No, I get
Not L. I meant the one that will lead you to L. Right here. It's how it says L Street and then 80.
Yeah. I don't get on the interstate well to come here anymore because they're still doing construction.
Oh yeah, because you don't have a way to get off.
Yeah. So because the Giles exit is all jacked up.
The
But no,
co-
I get
co-
on
cover band.
Jay Giles band.
My angel in the centerfold.
Yeah, that's Jay Giles band.
I
I think he pronounces it Giles.
I don't know.
I don't either, but he's wrong. It's fine.
There's a lot. There were a lot of misnomers back then.
Well, hell yeah. I want
Because
to
that's 80s, right?
That's got to
Shane?
be 80s, I think.
How do you know about the J?
I know.
Giles
I know
band?
Angel in the Centerfold. I know that song.
Oh, okay.
That's all
yeah,
I got.
it's 80s.
Yeah, thanks.
You're welcome. Good morning.
If they sing any other songs, I am unaware. I mean, I'm sure they do,
Yeah.
but I don't know what they are. They're a one-hit wonder in my book, and I know Amazing Daniel or somebody's probably going to be like, "Well, actually, they had this many hits.
He's a menace.
They had this many hits in the '80s," and I'm like, "Okay, cool."
All right, quick straw poll. Ready?
Yeah.
Popularity vote for a one-day stay, just the two of you.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
Kobe, Johnny the Pig, Amazing Daniel. Go.
Where are we staying?
At my shanty. At my new shanty.
Just outside Waverly.
Yes.
I've never met Kobe in person, so he's definitely out
Yeah.
because I don't know what I'm getting.
Okay.
I've met both Amazing Daniel and Johnny Pig in person, and in person they'd both be fine. If I had to talk to them on the internet for the day,
Yeah.
I'm burning it all to the ground. All three of them. But Johnny the Pig's fine in person. Amazing Daniel's fine in person. It's the internet where people have problems.
Yeah.
I'm sure Lance is fine in person too. He seems lovely on the phone. I would not
Balk
talk.
Dog or Michigan Lance?
Oh, Michigan Lance is fine. Yeah. Michigan Lance is good. But yeah, Balk Dog. If I had talked to him on the internet for a day, absolutely not. But on the phone, it'd be fine.
Oh yeah,
he's fine on the phone. I don't know what Freeze Frame is. Is that also Jay Gow's band?
Freeze Frame. I didn't know that was them too.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
That's a very different sounding song.
I trust Bruin Steve.
Yeah, he's right.
Amazing Daniel. I don't say anything online. I don't say in person.
Yeah,
I don't know if I would be pounding my chest over that deal.
You also, I don't know. You seem less irritating in person, if I'm just going to be honest.
Jeez.
He knows who he is.
You think I'm bad?
Yeah.
I was having, fair to Midland morning.
Oh,
you know what fair to Midland means? I think we should just have a day, like maybe during the bye week, we'll have a day where all these sayings came from. You know, like nitpicking and like fair to Midland.
Yeah, what is fair to Midland?
I don't know. I think it's a Midwestern thing.
I think it's like,
and you figured out the whole nitpicking thing, right?
Yeah, it's
that's
lice,
mildly
which
disgusting.
No, it's really gross.
I don't even know how that grew legs. No pun intended.
Well, it started off as the egg, and then
isn't that kind of a reach?
So the only other thing I thought it could have been, because I've never heard those called nits before, lice eggs.
Yeah, I had no idea.
And so that's what we've been told anyway. I thought it might be,
I think there's some truth to it because T-Mac hit me with it early before the guys in the stream did. He texted to me, and so I think he has access to information quickly.
Yeah, it's the only explanation we heard from everyone.
Yeah.
There was no variation whatsoever, so I'm starting to believe it might be it. The only other thing.
Well, what did Todd say? Go with what Todd says or Kendeigh?
I think Kendeigh was one of the first with the lice thing.
Yeah.
I thought it might be. You ever watch?
TK probably wasn't up yet. He's probably still celebrating the bar.
I know. Congrats, TK, for passing the bar. Well done, sir.
So did he tell us September before? I thought he told us they wouldn't know the results for. It seemed far away from when he last told us.
Oh, he probably took. I mean, I think it was probably 2 months ago when he took it.
Have you seen him lately?
No, not since.
He's down some serious libs.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think last time
he looked little. I don't know. Maybe it was his hair. I don't know. He looked little.
He probably wouldn't appreciate that. He's a lifter, He doesn't want.
No, but I think as you get older, man, you don't want to be a big guy.
I know, but he's not even as old as I am.
I don't
even think he's 30 yet.
Grant last night on Big Red Wrap Up.
Mm-hmm.
He is no longer a big guy.
Yeah.
And we were making fun of how little Jason is, Peter.
Yeah, the Peter brothers were funny too because neither one of them were as big as the weight they carried.
Oh,
right?
I know.
Like they had to stretch to get that big.
Grant was funny too because I think Jay Moore asked him a question about, or maybe it was off air. I don't know if it was on or off. I think it was on about playing multiple positions, like stopping the run. Oh, it was on air.
Mm-hmm.
Undersized versus not, playing in a 3, a 4, a 1, 2-eyed. I mean, Grant was super honest because he has a little Walt Kowalski to him, just a smidge, right? Like,
get off my lawn.
Yeah, like he's just got some non-negotiables.
A little surly.
Oh, man. He boiled it down to 3 things. He said competitive, be tough, and be coachable. He said, I don't care if it's sports, business, whatever. You do those 3 things, those are my non-negotiables.
Mm-hmm.
I'll worry about social media and some other stuff later on. I was like, God, that should be a T-shirt. But, he kept it a buck. He just was like, look, man, I was either outside shoulder of the tackle or I'm playing over a tight end, right? I'm glad I didn't have to slide. He basically was like the music band, One Direction, right? It was just like,
yeah.
He's like, I don't want to have to be multiple. And he was very, very accurate in terms of, he said you move 6 inches or a half slot from an eye to a head up. He said it's a totally different technique. I'm like, I felt like Michigan Lance. Thank you, DB. Thank you. He said it. Thank you. I have to kind of do his lips like he does. Thank you. It's very difficult, but we sure do talk like we know, boy. Whew. Gotta stop the run, man. Stop the run.
I do think it's interesting, kind of in light of that conversation. We've heard like Petchak was playing a little bit
By the way,
inside.
it's a little guy.
Grant?
Yes.
You've got, was he mad at you for not knowing when he was drafted?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I got it together.
Yeah. We locked it up
quickly.
Yeah.
I don't know. Although he did bristle up at the brunch when I said the wrong Rams team. He's like, St. Louis, thanks. And then he got in a couple pot shots. I was like, damn it. I got out of there pretty unscathed.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah. I just let him on talk. He took all the arrows. My man can't talk. Aaron Taylor said, yeah, I was going to answer that question, but I'm on talk for 20 minutes. In my head, I was like, please, AG, don't piss Aaron off. He's crabby. He's crabby.
I think all your linemen are just perpetually crabby.
Yeah, Severe kept, he was very honest last night. He said, my favorite thing about when you guys get together is you just kill Damon. And Grant acted like he was going to take the high road. And at the very end, he's like, well, Damon's going to Damon. It's like, stop calling me that. I hate my name. Damon. Yeah.
What would you like people to call you?
I don't know.
Just ODB?
Oh, whatever.
That's why I love you.
Sometimes I wonder. She went off this weekend.
I'm okay.
About what?
Basically, like technology, like not being 1985 anymore.
So she's mad that it's not 1985
Oh,
anymore.
man. She went in on tickets, printed versus digital, like the newspaper. Like, I don't know. But she was super honest. She was like, well, I don't have anybody to vent to. I was like, shoot, you got to be careful with my mindset. Easy.
I do miss a newspaper.
Yeah, this whole ticket thing is really bugging her.
Yeah?
Yeah, because she likes
only?
to keep printed tickets.
Yeah. I will say, I understand why they do it. It is, especially if you're like
I can't remember the price. I think if anybody's had their tickets printed as opposed to digital.
Oh, you can pay for them to do it?
I think it was like $350.
Yeah.
Does that seem like a lot?
Yeah, kind of.
He's
for like $350.
That's a month's worth of groceries.
Like $350 to print the season
Not
tickets.
a month. That's probably like a little over 2 weeks.
I was gonna say that's like not even Micah's like snack budget. Come on, man.
So somehow he still has like $31 in his lunch account.
Yeah.
He started with 40. I don't know, man.
My dude's not eating lunch?
Oh no, he eats. Nah, he takes a lot of stuff from home. Maybe they like him in the lunch line. I don't know.
I'll say maybe they're hooking him up.
He's not super friendly, so I don't.
I like him.
So he got invited. He had the opportunity to hit a home game.
Yeah.
Right this weekend, and Coach Lamanji just went through the spiel last Saturday about potential college guys taking visits.
Mm-hmm.
And how Saturday morning is still a work morning, and to try to pick games that are later in the day or to space them out. And he basically was like, hey, bottom line, I want you here on Saturday mornings, and don't text. He has his rules.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's absolutely right. We're rolling with it. So Nebraska called day before yesterday, and we're going through it, and he's kind of him-hawing around. And so I finally asked him at practice yesterday. I said, hey, such and such just called. Like, what's the deal? This dude looked at me. I'm not kidding. Deadpan, straight face, and said, didn't you hear Coach Lamanji Saturday morning? I'm going to try to reschedule for a game later in the week or later in the season. Hey, man, how about no?
You love it when people do that, though.
So it's at the beginning of practice.
Yeah.
No. So, of course, it aggravates me.
Sure.
But I have a certain routine. I mess with the guys stretching. Like, I like to have fun. Maybe I was off my game a little bit. Barked at my guys during Indy. I come back about 50 minutes later. We're doing specialties, and he goes, everything okay? How you doing? I was like, golly, man, it's going to be a long 3 years.
Well, at least you cared enough to ask.
No, that's not what it was. I appreciate you contributing to his delinquency either. I do this something else, man. If you don't bark as a pup, you certainly aren't going to bite as a dog. What? Right.
He's out here barking. That's what you told him to do.
Yeah, that dude's been yapping since he first sat on the porch. Let's take a quick call and see what my man, Mr. Kuchera, has going on this morning. TK, good morning, man. What's up?
The lawyer, TK. What's up?
Good morning, fellas.
How we doing? TK, are you offended?
You summoned me.
Are you offended that I said you look little?
Well, I don't think I've ever been called little in my entire life.
Is it intentional? Because sometimes it's not a good
yes,
thing.
Because you can't wait. You can't wait. Be off the line and weight at 5'9" forever.
Yeah, I wasn't going to take any shots at your height
because of that.
I was not. I was going to stay away from the tall jokes. I just, I was like, you just look little.
Oh no, I have good natural leverage.
I like the way you spin it. I like it. Good natural leverage. That's a good one. Shane, do you have good leverage?
Yes.
That's a lie. TK, what's up, man? Fair to Midland. Talk to me.
Okay, so apparently, because I know how to Google.
I feel like you wanted me to. I feel like you wanted me to Google that.
Well, it's pretty easy. It's what's called a mondo green, which we have encountered on this show before, which is just the misspeaking of an idiom.
Is it fair to middling? Oh, there it is. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
and of course it was the U.S. South when they can't pronounce words. Got that going on.
Fair to middling.
They can't pronounce words. They can't rank football teams.
Boy, she's getting roasted.
I think
she locked her social media account. She must have just been getting cooked.
Yeah, killed.
Yeah, we already knew the AP was trash.
Wow.
This just woke everybody up.
All right. So it's fair to middling?
Yeah, fair to middling.
And it just means like average? I'm fair to middling.
Correct.
All right.
So basically, I'm somewhere between slightly above average or slightly below average.
That makes a lot more sense. So we don't say middling at all? It's just middling.
It's just middling. I like Midland more because it confuses people, and I like keeping people confused.
Okay, so what's the other term where we butcher idioms again?
Samondegreen.
Samondegree.
Yes.
Okay.
Sounds
like a breed of pup.
Things to ask you too.
All right, what's up?
So, if we couldn't have any more Ndamukong Suh lore out there, how do we believe that he regrew and repaired his ACL in 4 months?
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so he's weird when it comes to his body too. He's pretty regimented, he was like cutting edge before it was cutting edge in terms of rehab. He kept himself in fantastic shape. And a lot of it was just through research.
Man,
awkward pause.
He could do anything that he wants.
Yeah, pretty much. Backflips, play goalie, score from the box.
Play offensive line.
Be a GM.
Yeah, he's extremely bright. Extremely bright. What else you got?
Okay, so I was just thinking about this, and it's really dangerous when I start thinking.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah. Our text exchange would let me know that that's 100% accurate.
People are concerned still about this whole run game nonsense, and we've seen the first 2 weeks, and we saw against Boston College. John Butler put some pretty advanced defenses out there. What do you think that John Butler will put out there, like how they adjusted by putting bear fronts out there from his NFL defensive background to combat teams who do not have explosive passing threats and thus have to rely on the run game.
That is a fine line.
I don't know, TK. I think there's a lot out there still on his painting, on his easel. I really do. I don't know if
he's obviously brilliant.
Yeah, he's really smart. There's zero question about that. He can think on the fly really quick too. Like he talked about his ability to process really rapidly. Yeah, there's no question. No question. He's bright.
Okay, guys. Thank you very much.
All right, buddy.
Chewing on that. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thanks, TK.
Those awkward pauses always throw me.
I always think the phone cuts out or something.
I don't know where you think he is going.
I don't know. He's driving. I heard him.
I think his gym is in his
in his office.
No, I think it's in a facility where he lives. So I don't think he has to drive there.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
I'm guessing he was. It's pretty early. I don't know. Maybe he's going to work. I don't know what time. It's a government building, so it's probably not open till like 8.
So he just walked right into a job, huh?
Yeah, that happens a lot with lawyers.
Yeah, you just spend the first couple of years getting out of law school debt.
Yeah, pretty much.
Can you have legal? Do you get scholarships to be a lawyer?
So the way it worked, this was 15 years ago, but the way it worked, my buddy went to law school was, you could get a certain amount of aid. So they didn't really call them scholarships. I think they just kind of like discount or aid or whatever. And I don't think anybody gets like a full ride. It doesn't seem like.
No.
But he also, if you get into law school, the loans are easier to get because they're like, oh, you've got high earning potential, whatever. So, but yeah, there was like a sliding scale of, hey, this is like tuition. This is kind of what it's going to cost you.
I would not have guessed 5'9".
You not shorter?
Yep.
No, he's like pretty much exactly my height.
Yeah,
I think we were standing eye to eye pretty close.
This weekend?
No, when I wasn't there this weekend. Last time I saw him.
I know I didn't see, but I didn't go out there.
Yeah.
I went out there once. I went to go see Steve.
Yeah.
Sipple and BC. Ran into Mike Babcock, and that was about it.
Yeah.
I did not.
You usually bounce around a little bit more.
So it I wanted to see what the new food was because I debated because our studio is right by where the former players are now.
Mm-hmm.
And the glass is wide open.
Yeah.
So I couldn't get out of there fast enough. So I'm thinking,
just
all
exposed.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's basically looking at the animals through the cage. But nobody was in there yet. So I got out of there. Yeah, I got out of there super quick and got over to the stadium. And I was trying to guess what they were going to serve for the meal with the new vendor.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? Because you don't know.
Yeah, it's a crapshoot.
And we were trying to guess, and it was like burgers and hot dogs, and they had like these sauteed onions and pepper rings on the hot dog. Like it was kind of fancy pants.
I'm not a big, first of all, pepper rings on the onions. Get out of here. No, thank you.
I like, so you know what I'm talking about, like banana peppers?
Yeah.
They're fine.
They like put them around the hot dog?
Like in the.
In the bun?
No. Like, so there's 90 hot dogs and they're adorned with peppers throughout.
Oh, like in the tray.
You just grab the tongs.
Oh, I don't like that at all.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no.
Hey, you eat macaroni out of a cup. Like what are we talking about?
Not usually, like every once in a while. Not out of the cup. Come on. Not really an easy Mac guy.
Gotcha.
Like a little higher standard. I prefer it out of the box.
All right. Makes sense.
It does taste better out of the box. Like if you want like Kraft mac and cheese for some reason, like if you're having, like it is way better out of the box than it is Easy Mac. That's a fact. I'll die on that hill.
Wow.
What?
To your thing. But you are eating Chips Ahoy.
Yeah, we got some cookies this morning. Well, we were out of some of my other snacks. So, that one's yours.
Yeah, I wasn't going to plug in because I was trying to get my screen to freeze.
It doesn't matter if your screen freezes. That doesn't affect anything at all.
Shoot, it doesn't?
Yeah. It only affects your ability to see the comments.
Damn it.
That's the only thing that... This is why we went to this setup, so you couldn't do that. One of the reasons. It also looks better.
The more you know. Just ruined my morning.
Sorry.
I doubt it.
I mean, yeah, when it freezes, you're not on screen anymore.
It's childish. I think you got to send yourself to timeout.
It just froze. Oh, but now it came back.
And it still doesn't matter. Mine or his?
Damon's, but now it
yeah,
came back.
and it still doesn't matter.
Todd says some people were paying on foot. Wait, what? Some people were paying on FB. They ran out of concessions Saturday. Did they? I don't know. Those lines looked monumental.
They did look aggressive, from what I've heard.
Yeah, they probably have. I mean, it was a dry run, not a dry run, but it was the first home game.
First go.
Yeah, they're gonna have to figure that out.
Yeah.
I was not out there a ton.
You weren't amongst the people?
No, I did get accosted over my lanyard though.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Were you not wearing it?
She's a veteran.
Yeah.
I'm a veteran, and she said, "You're going to have to put that around your neck. The whole waist thing just isn't going to work." And it caught me off guard because she said the whole thing sitting down.
Yeah.
Right? So I looked back and I was like, huh? She goes, it needs to be visible around your neck. And I go, how long we been doing this? And she goes, there's no special. I'm like, stop. That's not even remote. Like, just answer the question. Don't infer I don't want special treatment. I'm like, why after X amount of years do we have to put this thing around our neck?
New policies.
I guess. So your boy was walking around like flashlight. I was like Flavor Flav. And then we had a little joke. Yeah. And I would just show it to her. And she's like, oh, I can see.
That's why it's around your neck. Well, so what's the issue with the land? Is it like you don't like how it looks?
Yeah.
You don't want your name on it?
First of all, it's huge.
Yeah.
And second of all, it's just like
swinging.
Yeah.
Okay.
So BMAC gave me this little thing. You just clip it on your waist, and it has like a little stretchy thing.
Yeah. When I worked in corporate America, you keep your
and plus when you do shoots or like if I'm on the field and we're gonna do a hit, like she doesn't want to see the lanyard.
Yeah.
So over time, I just learned to put it someplace different,
belt loop or whatever.
Yeah.
And this lady's not having it.
No, she's not. People think it's funny too. I mean, she was dead serious. She got everybody.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Well, at least it wasn't just you.
No, I know. Okay. That's why I didn't get the whole special comment thing.
Well, if you're the only one,
if you're making Mike Babcock do it, everybody's got to do it because that
Everybody
dude needs zero ID. He just has to talk, and you know who it is.
Does Coach Darlington have to do it?
So I didn't see him.
Oh, really?
I didn't see Coach D
because he was at practice not too long ago, right?
Yeah, but I didn't. Again, I'm probably like last.
He might have been later than when you were.
Last week was not a good week to ask me if I saw somebody. I was super dialed.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did see some of our colleagues.
Yeah, Avery.
I did not see Avery.
Really?
No.
Who'd you see? Photographers?
I saw Happer. I saw Sharp. I saw Chattel. It's slim pickings.
Let me ask
Steve.
Is it technically?
Man, I saw AK. I saw AK.
This is where I got confused. Is it technically a colleague if you don't work at the same place as them?
I don't know. That's a TK question.
Because you said colleague, and I thought, oh, Hurrdat
people that I work with.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. That's where I got a little confused. That's why I asked about Avery.
No, I didn't see any of our Hurrdat crew.
Well, they were there. They must not have. Well, they spent a lot of time on the field though before game. They don't come up to the box till pretty late. I
never ever saw Sasha in Kansas City, and I only saw Avery in the press box.
Yeah.
I don't know who else was there.
We definitely had some photographers there. I don't remember.
So maybe it's just me because I'm trying to get used to like how we want to do the pregame stuff.
Oh yeah.
So I'm not in my whatever is going to be the normal routine.
Not your normal observant element.
Yeah, I didn't. I was just happy they painted the door red, so I know what studio to go to.
I thought that your complaint about the lanyard was going to be you don't like people seeing your name on there.
No, I think I think.
Okay, well, because the reason I asked that is you used to tell me that you would not wear Nebraska gear, because you didn't want to like advertise to people that you.
It's different when I'm actually in that building.
Okay, because I was like, I think
that's not like being at Kroger's or Baker's or Hy-Vee or Aldi or wherever.
You think it's the red N that gives you away?
Yes.
Not the fact that you look like Damon Benning?
No.
Oh, okay.
I picked up some food the other day, and the people were looking at me through the glass.
Yeah.
And the dude like stood up, like he held his little dude up through the window, and I was like, "Oh, he got me with the kid."
Yeah.
So I walked over and I was like, "Hey, what's up?" And they were having breakfast, and the I assumed that was the gentleman's mom. I think it was like grandparents and kids with the grandkids, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she said, "Oh, I always wondered what you looked like. We hear your voice a lot." I was like, "Gosh, that's just the opposite of."
Yeah, you normally don't get that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But I figure radio. They're probably radio people.
Yeah. Do you think if Kenny stops wearing Nebraska gear, people won't recognize him either?
No, the afro is incredible. Afro. We didn't even say congratulations. Did you guys did the shoot? I like that.
We said congrats when he got announced, but yeah, he's going.
I feel like I should tell since I'm on that voting committee.
Yeah.
Kenny.
Yeah, give us a heads up next time.
No.
Jeez.
No, I don't think that's the right thing. I didn't even tell Dumas.
Yeah.
Or Foreman. And I certainly would tell those guys.
Yeah. Yeah, Kenny told us as soon as he found out, I think, pretty quickly. So, yeah, excited for our guy going into
It's exciting. We're celebrating that here coming up, right?
That's this week. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he'll be down.
You almost think I should know that.
Well, actually, I mean,
It's exciting.
maybe.
I mean, maybe.
No, we'll actually we'll be down at the rail yard, kind of hanging out. We'll have some of his Hall of Fame gear down there and stuff. So
nice.
It'll be fun. It'll be good to see everybody.
Nice. I told you we saw Joseph. We do have wrestling. I saw Melvin and Bo Bassett. They were getting the grand tour on their wrestling official visit. It's not often you get tours from the athletic.
I'll say who's giving that tour.
That would be Troy Dannon and Coach Manning. It was very, very impressive. They walked them through the studio because there's places in the new studio where if you want to do some branding things as a student athlete, you have your own setup. It's pretty sweet digs. So I saw Bassett and Melvin there. I was like, oh, this must be an important weekend.
Yeah.
No, seriously. I don't know if I've ever I should have said, hey, TD, do you normally do tours?
Campus tours?
Nah, my man was locked and loaded. I was like, oh, these guys must be pretty good.
Was he doing the tour guide thing where he's Memorial Stadium was built in
I pulled a reversal. I was looking at them through the glass.
Yeah.
Because they were on the outside, but then they came in.
It'd be funny just to see Troy Dannon in museum mode.
No, Coach Manning gave me a hug. He about snapped my clavicle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was not
strong guy.
Yeah, it was like coming in with a gump handshake. I probably should have gone in a little more firm to brace myself. And he bent it. He's like, hey, I'm looking forward to. I was like, good.
Yeah, I'm cool.
Some people don't like it.
Let me go. Nah, he's fantastic.
Coming up on the show today, we've got our Wednesday regulars as always. Brian Christopherson, 8 o'clock. From Husker 24/7, Andy Kendeigh at 8:30 from KETV. 9 o'clock, we've got Mitch Sherman from the Athletic. And then at 9:30, DB, do you want to tell them about our 9:30 guest?
Our 9:30 guest, yeah, Monte Kratzenstein. He is the CEO. He's like the go-to guy for the Nebraska Greats Foundation, who raise money for former athletes in the university system. And there are 5 of those schools we figured out. They may even have branched out that may need medical services provided that cannot otherwise afford it. And he has got a fundraiser with Coach Manning. See?
Comes first full circle.
So we'll talk to Monty from a Nebraska great tight end at 9:30.
Big tight end guy?
Big tight end.
You love tight ends.
I do love. Listen. The group's pretty good.
Good group. It's a good group.
It is pretty good.
There's a Luke Lindemeyer case to be made there.
Yeah, they'll have more than that by the time they're done here in the next couple of years.
I will say, I thought Harburg and Carter Nelson were both much better blocking on Saturday.
Yeah, Harburg's coming.
Yeah,
Harburg's coming.
There's you could see some week-to-week improvement there. I appreciated that.
Just takes reps.
You got to. He's been a quarterback his whole life.
Yeah, it's not easy. I mean, what's the stat that Coach Sat dropped on Carter 2 weeks ago? Less than 100 actual real double teams?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, just to put that in perspective.
That's
Not a lot of experience.
No, gotta get those reps
when
in.
you run a ton of duo.
It also is kind of, I know I made the comment last year about 8-man or whatever, but when you're not, it's not even like he was playing full-time tight end, right? Like that's not, whether it's 8-man, 11-man, 6-man, arena, whatever. He wasn't even playing a version really of the position he's playing now, right? Yeah. And so even if he'd been playing at, Texas 6A level, but wasn't playing tight end, like that's still a big adjustment.
Yeah.
Right. So lots of reps to get there for both those guys. But I was impressed. Want to make sure I called that out, that I thought they had much better blocking against Akron. But we'll get to all those guests and more. Take a quick break here so that Austin and Rico don't yell at us for going the whole first hour without a break. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla. Hurrdat Sports Live.
Yeah, we're just so excited to be home. 3 straight weeks we get to be here, so we're really excited about that. The back-to-back road trips were definitely a toll on us as coaches, on our players. Felt like we just got back from Madison and then just turned around and got on another plane. So happy to be home. We have the best fans, and I think that was something that this weekend really reminded us is how grateful we are to have the support and the community that we have, and to get to play in front of a sold-out Sokol Arena this weekend is something we're really excited for. I thought highs and lows this weekend. Again, still fighting to be more consistent as a team. Something that we're going to continue to get better in the gym with, but love that we're playing the best teams in the country. I know UC Santa Barbara is now rightfully receiving votes. San Diego, I think, is a top 30 team as well, and so we're just going to continue to play the best teams we can play, and we'll do that again this weekend.
Nothing, honestly. I didn't know until after the game. What was it, since 2009? Is that right? Mm-hmm. So that's pretty cool, right? I mean, that's a big. It doesn't mean nothing, but we're trying to play to a standard, and I think that at times against Cincinnati we played to that standard, and at times we didn't. And against Akron, I think we played to that standard more, but we still have ways to go and ways to develop. And on defense, ultimately, your job is to prevent them from scoring. So 0 points is outstanding. I don't really ever care about yards, passing yards, rushing yards. I care about explosive yards. Giving up explosive plays leads to winning or losing a game. And obviously giving up points leads to winning or losing a game. So I think it's pretty cool that we had the shutout, but I didn't know until hours after the game. Somebody said it was since 2009. So I think that's a pretty cool thing.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Headshot plays and tackle this weekend, which the biggest challenge for you as a coach is, not me personally, but all of us, is don't pigeonhole players into a role that you think they are. Put them in the best possible position to make plays. So we put Petchak in a different position. He went out there and made plays. And really, when you look at our defense, the end position and the tackle position in a lot of our 3-down fronts are very, very similar. So I think we have to continue to identify the winners, the most competitive, the toughest, the ones that give the most effort, the ones that execute the best, the ones that care about the teammates the most. We're continuing to find them. We're finding some of them in our younger guys, which we have no problem playing younger players as long as they fit and play to that standard. So, Cade, Williams, obviously Cam's been pretty consistent. Gabe Moore did some things for us out there. He's a big human that can help us in the inside of our defense. So.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Centris Federal Credit Union. That's DB. I'm Ravi. Lulla, reminding you, if you're on the roads this morning, make sure you've got that seat belt fastened. It prevents injuries and saves lives, but only if worn properly. Make it click. This message from the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
He's telling the truth.
About what?
Just what he said. Like, you can just tell. You watch what's going on in practice, the movement, the depth charts, guys getting reps. He is 100% telling the truth.
You know how much Cade Petchak weighs?
I know what he looks like he weighs. I'm going to guess Petchak doesn't weigh more than, I pushed him in the hall. He's probably, how many pounds are you going to give me?
I will give you 5 pounds.
He is 262.
265 is what he's listed at.
Yeah.
So not a big guy to be
he's
playing tackle.
No. Jay Moore and I were talking about him off air last night. He's an explosive son of a gun.
Oh yeah.
He has a really, really, really high practice motor. Like a lot of those guys, him, Hofkin, I like Mason, I like Parrott. Like they have a really high motor.
Yeah. Which is not always common in big guys.
No, and you saw the reps rewarded. Like and I got on those guys, and it's just me because I think them as players have to understand. I bristle up a little bit when people say like 1s, 2s, and 3s. And, even Coach Rule, I shook my head at. He's like, and we need to get the red group in. It's like at some point you'll stop making that distinction because you'll have practice in such a way where the competitiveness won't matter. Right. We never heard yellow jerseys or, whatever we were wearing, just because at some point the competitiveness will be so interchangeable. It literally turns into next man up. And I don't think it's intentional to label and pigeonhole. I'm just saying you subconsciously speak it into existence. Like the worst thing that you can say is backups. Right. And you can go super literal and it's like, well, that's what they are. But it's like similar to if I can know something, like I wouldn't say, hey, poor, right? Or hey, rich, or hey, dummy, or hey, brainiac.
I mean, sometimes you do.
Yeah, that's true.
Every once in a while.
Yeah, you're an idiot. But it's like you own what you allow yourself to be called.
Yeah, you own the labels you're given.
You own what you allow yourself to be called. You own what you allow yourself to be called. So I always bristle up at that a little bit because the players do too. And I think the better we get it out of our lexicon, it means the closer that those guys are in terms of their competitive balance. And that's really what you're after. And when we put the 2s in, okay, right? So if you don't want them to think of themselves as two in the same vein that you want them to not have a drop off, don't address them as that.
2 questions.
100% I'm here.
Number one is, do you think it's an internal versus external thing mostly? Because I know internally they go black, red, white.
I'm not gonna get hung up on. You're right. Like I'm not gonna beat you up. Look at those pedestrian stats: 337, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 48 rushing yards. That's Lenora Sellers.
That's over 2.
That's
games.
why I'm in last place in my quarterback derby. Wait, am I in last place still?
I believe. Well, yeah, they haven't played any more games since Monday. I knew that one was snarky. I apologize.
I like me.
I went with it anyway.
Of course you did. Yeah, I think there's external versus internal. I don't know. It didn't sound external what he said when he said in the locker room. Like, hey, we'll get the red group up and
right, but I just mean the specific terminology. Call them red group in the locker room versus call them 3s and 2s.
I don't know.
with us,
I think we
like
fight it all the time as coaches, right? Where we had to stop saying certain things and we just gave them colors. So, and I even do that in youth, right?
Yeah.
Hey, green group up, black group up, and the players can actually know, but there's just something to when you arrive at it and it becomes interchangeable. It won't really matter, and you don't want it to matter.
Yeah,
you because what we're after is no drop off, and if your desired outcome is no drop off, you have to be intentional on how you get there.
So, second question.
Okay,
is
what
there a certain is Big Lil? I think Lil John was in town last weekend.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
I don't. It was like a.
I would not be going to rock with Lil Jon,
No.
even though I do like Lil Jon.
You're not a big Lil John guy.
He's fine. Yeah, I mean he's mostly better. No, he's mostly operates at a high level in collabs.
Yeah,
you know,
not a big solo guy.
But a dum dum dum.
Yes.
Lil Jon.
And the East Side Boys.
Yeah.
And then you got the Yin Yang Twins. I saw like a TikTok of the
little mama, let me whisper in your ear.
I saw a TikTok of the Yin Yang Twins the other day, and it was rough looking. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Was it? Yeah, I that would not be my
it
crowd.
Bummed me out.
That would not be my crowd. I mean, I don't mind the music.
No, I don't either. I actually, it's kind of like in my wheelhouse, like late high school. But seeing them at this age doing a concert at like a fair, was
and
a
it
bummer.
was outside too, right? I
It
saw a banner
was.
because it was in collab with some folks that we know.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was their promotion.
I don't
but
know.
it was I think it was tacos and tequila.
Yeah, it was. It was
Now,
like an event, and then they had all
I could
this.
give or take the tacos.
I'll take it.
But
I enjoy tacos.
I wonder what kind of tequila they had.
I'm guessing
A wide array?
probably a variety.
Yeah.
I don't think you're just like, hey, we've got.
You know what we've made famous that isn't really that great of a quality?
What's that?
Patron.
Yeah, who's we made famous? Like society?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll work.
You all right? Yeah. You good there?
Yeah. Itchy beer.
Yeah, Patron is like it's fine. It's just whatever.
Yeah, it is the Smirnoff of tequila.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. Well, well aware.
It's a good example. It's
Thank
a 1-to-1 comparison.
Thank you.
The bottle's a little cooler though.
Cooler.
What's happening, baby? How you doing?
Well, yeah, I like
That's my dude.
I like my tequila chilled, so it's a cooler bottle.
All right, let's get it.
Yeah, I think you'd like him.
Who's that?
That's George.
Do I know George?
George is my man on TikTok that you get mad at because he is very friendly.
What's up, fellas? How y'all?
I don't mind him as much as the other guy.
No, I understand.
He's fine.
Again,
I'll give him a shot.
So what did I just say that you responded to? You don't even know. You were so quick to rebut. What you replied didn't have
TikTok.
anything to do with what I said.
You said TikTok, and I.
Yeah, you immediately went.
No,
to
he said because
explaining.
that I don't like.
It's not what I said.
Yeah, you said that's a guy on TikTok you don't
Here
like.
comes another one.
It wasn't in comparison to
I
Southern
know.
Vibe.
I think you group them together sometimes.
No, I think you do because they have some overlapping qualities that you don't like.
That you showed me both of them?
Sure. That's what they had in common.
Are there these food guys that I'm like, I don't really care what you do with your food, bud?
Yeah, that too.
That's a big thing. I was like, I don't care what you do with your food, man.
No,
What's
but I
happening,
think,
baby? How you doing?
but I think you want your guys to play in such a way where you don't really start talking about that.
So my other question is, if you have fostered the right temperament of your team.
Fostered the right temperament. That's very professional sounding.
Well,
DJ, I can't get into Casamigos either. I apologize.
Casamigos is overrated. I'm not a big Casamigos guy.
100%.
But if you
I saw
have
that in somebody's skybox.
I didn't want to use the
imagine
dirty C word culture, because sometimes we're just like, oh, it's just this
why
catch-all.
Why does culture have to be a dirty C word?
People just use it as kind of a catch-all when they don't want to identify things a little bit more specifically. So I wanted to identify it a little
Another
bit more
C word. You
specifically.
and your co-conspirators. Like, you think that's a dirty C word?
It depends on what the conspiracy is.
That culture is overrated.
Oh, those are bad co-conspirators. They're telling you dumb things. But if you have fostered the correct temperament of your
Not
ball
to
club,
be confused with Jermaine
or foster the people,
or Sinai, it's my cousin.
I'm not familiar.
It's fine. I'm just talking.
Is there?
Hey, there another fellow tequila compatriot.
Oh yeah.
It's my dude.
Is there any party that's like, I can use calling them twos versus ones if they're like,
I'm not gonna get hung
bleep
up
you,
on
I'm not a two.
Yeah, I mean, because ultimately that's how it will get.
Right.
That internally, if you're operating at a high level, that's how those guys think. Trust me.
So there's like, if you're trying to put a little chip on him a little bit.
I don't think he does. I don't think that's a coach.
Okay.
I don't think that's a ploy.
All right.
I think sometimes you have to distinguish when you want the next group up. I think that's just what you say.
Yeah.
Like we may say, I don't know, I'm not going to use us, but
red group, green group, blue group, whatever.
Yeah. Blue man
group.
So, I mean, I get it. The point of it is when you're because you get to a point you want to, if you really want me to land the plane, like how are you distinguishing between Keona Davis and Hofkin and
Jalen George, and
when they're so interchangeable, right? At some point, you just put them in the game.
Yeah, like
that's what you want.
Judy's still listed ahead of Van Poppel.
Yeah, he's not a black shirt, so you still calling him red?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, oh, that makes sense.
So like that's the point. You want to get the desired outcome is.
It just doesn't
as
matter.
if they are interchangeable. It's ultimately not going to matter.
Yeah.
So the sooner we stop making those designations, the better you know your team is playing. I'm not saying you can't make those designations. I'm saying at some point, if you're operating at a high level, you won't.
That makes sense. I got you. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Finally.
Sometimes you put things down like little breadcrumbs. I need you to drop the whole loaf. You know what I mean?
Man, I'm only going to feed those that are hungry.
I'm hungry. That's DB.
That should be my motto.
That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla. We've got Brian Christopherson coming up next here on Hurrdat Sports Live.
Our question of the day, Huskers wins on this season, over or under 9.5?
Go Big Red, over! Have you looked at Matt Rule year 3? Come on. Baylor, Temple, over 10 wins? We're going 10-2, easily.
I think we're going 9-3.
Oh, we're going over 100% Nebraska all the way.
I agree. Over 9 for sure. Because Jalen Gramstad is the best. Grandpa, he's got it.
We're going to be undefeated going to College Station, Penn State. Better be a wideout. What's happening? Because the Huskers are coming, all right?
Last year, they got to a bowl game. This year, it's a whole nother level. And that's getting 10 wins.
Playoffs. I don't know about football. I know about beer. I'm a Hawkeye fan in disguise, so I don't comment here.
I don't think they're going to hit 9 wins.
I think we go 11-1 this year and go to the playoffs this year.
Okay, we don't play Indiana. So, I mean, hey, 12-1, hey, that's my prediction.
Over 9.5 wins. Hammer the money line. Skurs are back, baby. Skurs by 90. Let's go Big Red, huh?
And remember, for the best sports book in Nebraska, be sure to visit Warhorse Casino in Lincoln and in Omaha.
So I'm excited with Big Brothers Big Sisters. We're partnering up with you guys to just we've done this before in the past where there's been trying to get more big brothers, big sisters signed up. This year we've got a special event. Before we get into that, I kind of just wanted to find out a little bit more about you and how you got involved with Big Brothers Big Sisters.
Sure. So I have actually been working for Big Brothers Big Sisters in the Midlands for almost 2 years now. But before that, I was actually a big, and I have had a couple of little sisters in the past, over the past 10 years. So I've kind of seen it from both sides. I've been able to actually see the mentorship side, and got a lot of passion, obviously, for the organization at that point, and have worked in nonprofits for a long time, and they were hiring. And so I was so excited to be able to kind of come on board with the Midlands organization as well. So, yeah.
Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
I think it's a work in progress. I think it's a combination of how we play combined with the schemes that we're calling, combined with, the execution of some of the run blitzes we're running. And also a little bit of it is, like, you go back to the Cincinnati game, 96 yards, it was quarterback run, quarterback scramble, really. So that just comes down to keeping guys in the pocket. And then last week, we gave up 6 10-yard runs, and no excuse for any of them. But one was a call I made right before the end of the half where I was playing cover 2 and they ran the ball and we're just trying to get out of there. And the other one was the last play of the game where, so I think at the end of the game, we felt like overall our run defense got better. We put some things in to help us schematically. And really, it's about our collective defense. I don't think anybody needs to get hung up on they're running it or they can't throw it. They need to get hung up on, are they scoring points and are they effectively moving the football on us, which, they were 1 for 14 on third down and scored 0 points. So.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Centris Federal Credit Union. That's DB. I'm Ravi, Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. We are joined now by Brian Christopherson from Husker 24/7. BC, is it good if they're 1 for 14 on third down and don't score any points? Because that's good defense, right?
For the most part, although I think Houston Christian held who'd they lose to? Eastern Kentucky to I think they were 1 of 16 Eastern Kentucky on third down. I'm like 90% sure on that, and Eastern Kentucky won. But yes, usually it is good.
That's one of the strangest box scores. If I don't know how much you've perused it, one of the strangest box scores I've seen in a while.
You and ESPN Plus.
Houston Christian and in Eastern Kentucky says, what's happening here? What is this team doing?
BC, I'm going to take some liberties here because I think we're kind of boys.
Okay. Yeah, I think we are too. That's cool that you say it, though.
I am assuming at that point in the day when I saw you had showered. So where are all your friends? Like, why were you solo? What was going on?
Before the game Saturday, the boys were down on the field working, taking pictures. I sent them off, so that's why.
Go on, carry on. Go on.
I got business to attend to, I said, and so they got out of there. No, I had showered. Yeah, that day I definitely showered.
I didn't mind. I was kind of on your team. I sat with you. I thought you smelled pleasant. I just wondered why you were sitting by yourself.
Do kids still wear cologne? Do
they? Yeah.
They are? Okay, because I thought there was a phase where that was fading out, and I didn't understand.
No, that was the hipster celebs in the hallways, at least over there on 89th and Pacific. You get a little cool water, a little.
The Johnson's baby powder and the cool water cologne.
Man, it's like, what is going? It'll make you nauseous if you're not careful. So yeah,
you gotta keep pushing.
Yeah, I think I think
I asked that because I'm a cologne guy, and I occasionally dab a little too much on. But yeah, I wondered if the guys were still wearing it. But
you're like a big jupe guy, Fahrenheit 451. What are we wearing these days, BC, for the old fragrance?
I wear Fahrenheit. I do actually wear Fahrenheit. That's funny you brought that up. I wear Lacoste I have a Lacoste one I really like. Burberry. I don't know if I pronounce it right. I'm not
That's old school.
It's got that kind of, if you're classic, like you're with people your age or older and you want to show a presence. I feel like that one works. But
who among us didn't get a cool water set for Christmas?
I still have a cool water hanging out there. I still have Curve hanging out there because I had Curve back in the day.
Oh my gosh, I think that may reach its statute. Like, don't don't put.
I haven't used it in a while, and I'm not knocking anyone who does, but yeah, that's in there. I have like 15 of them in there, and some of them have probably been there for 10 years.
Nice. All right, B. So let's get to the fragrances. How good did Nebraska's offense smell to you when you're looking at what you think their versatility is going to be as this season wears on?
Oh, let's see. It was a Lacoste smell. That I like Lacoste. Yeah. I mean, I appreciated, and I just heard what you were saying, and you were kind of. It was an arrow towards me, and some of the people always talk about 2s, 3s, and 4s and backups and stuff. But
I said it to Jay Moore, and he snapped at me because he's entitled to say it as a guy that went through it. And I was like, can we stop saying that though? Like, I don't know. It still bugged me. Maybe.
So, yeah, I get you. So I'll frame it this way. Whoever was on the field all game long, I was just impressed that there wasn't a let up with the offense, and it just felt like that thing just kept humming. And you've been to a lot of games where, you know, the first group plays well and you're up 35-0, and that score ends up 35-7 or 42-7. It was just impressive. And I think Dana Holgerson hit on this the other day and actually said he hadn't seen it quite like that, where it just kept going from every group, you know, and they were producing and doing what they were supposed to do. And it kind of hits to your point. It's guys being ready and maybe not seeing the difference in their status on the team or anything. They're just ready to go out and get it done when it's their turn and their name is called. And so I like that about the game, and no matter who was on the other side on offense. So it was a nice smell for what it was.
You know, BC, I thought only, you know, as we're having this conversation about like 1s and 2s and labeling groups and stuff, I really thought only basketball players were that soft that they cared that much about what they were called. Because every time, listen, I would play a guy.
I'm right here.
I would play a guy like.
Was that a shot? Was that a shot, BC?
He called you soft.
I think he did.
I said I was surprised football players are as soft as basketball players. Wow. That's what I was saying. Because I would sit here and I would play a guy 30 minutes a game, but he wasn't a starter. Like, he was Manu Ginobili, basically. And, I mean, not good-wise, but just the situation. So you play this guy 30 minutes a game, and all this guy could think about is that he's not starting. It's like, you want me to switch? You only want to play 10 minutes a game, and you want to start instead?
Yeah.
I thought football players have the mental fortitude not to have to deal with that.
Oh, good point, Ravi. Guess you told me.
I was wondering, you know?
We out here, right?
No, BC. One of the things I was actually thinking about earlier this week was, or I guess last night, is, you know, we talked about a lot about certain guys, whether it's Emmett, Dylan, obviously, you know, the Quinn Clark story, the Luke Lindemeyer story, all that has gotten a lot of attention. Is there a guy that, as you've gone back and rewatched or kind of poured over box scores or thought about this game, that you've thought to yourself, we probably should have been talking about this guy, but he hasn't really come up?
I mean, we talk about everybody at some point around here, which is, I guess, the beauty of Nebraska. I'm trying to think if there's a good example, like somebody who popped. You're talking about someone on Saturday that you thought popped out that we didn't talk about quite as much as it was warranted.
Yes, I mean, who you thought popped out, not me.
Yeah,
but yes.
I don't have a great answer to that. That's a different answer. I think. See, Quinn Clark, I don't think is a great answer there because I do think he's been discussed, but I do think he hit people over the head who maybe don't consume the Husker product daily, which I can appreciate. And they're more about it's game time. I'm going to see what these boys have. Mm-hmm. And when they saw Quinn Clark catch that ball in stride, and kind of step over a guy like nothing and just show his athleticism. It was a really good play. And I mean, yeah, it's just a small sampling, but as Holgerson said, that's a guy who's done that before, in practices. And so it was just a matter of translating that to the game. And so to your question, I always think about guys I think about the depth chart all the time and like in June and July. But sometimes you got to step back, think about, okay, a fan who just walked in and they're kind of getting their feel for this team, who's going to step up or really catch their notice. Quinn Clark definitely did that. And then, I think the younger backs in their small opportunities showed their juice. Like, I think you saw it with Mosey when he got out in the open field. It was like the 39, 40-yard play. And you're like, okay, that connects to what I've heard about him. And just like he's fun in space. And Mekhi Nelson had that nice play down the sideline. So kind of to come to a general summary, I thought the game was very useful because in the sense that it got some first out of the way for guys. Like it got Quinn Clark's first touchdown, Mekhi Nelson's first touchdown. It got guys on the field who it's like, oh, we didn't see them the last game, and that whole conversation. And it sort of shifted it forward, and now they can go build on it. And I think that was what was very useful about that game.
BC, from the depth stand, give me a couple of positions, if not players, who you think have gone from bodies to actually looking like they provide depth. Because somewhere along the line, like in our heads, we make that distinction.
Yeah. I mean, I think on the D line, Petchak's been quite a story.
Can we have depth on the D line if we don't love our D line yet? I get the consensus we're still in limbo on our D line. Can we have depth yet?
Well, I don't know if you can have like great depth, but you can have like you can have more options available where you're like that guy can go in there and get something done. And they still have to prove themselves. Don't get me wrong, but I just think it's a really interesting story on the D line with like Petchak, Jalen George, who was in a green jersey most of the offseason, can help you. Gabe Moore was suddenly getting some snaps, and he was in a green jersey up until Tuesday. I just think that's a really interesting storyline. It's not answering your question probably, but of a group that has these guys that have a lot of potential, but they've just got to like maximize every day. Like that's the old cliche, but they truly do. Like the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday growth has to be good for them. And that can be a deep group over time. They're a work in progress, as they say. But it's interesting, like how some of these names are starting to pop up that could give it depth. Besides that, I mean, I feel really good about the DBs, but I always did. So, I mean, like when they put in the guys who weren't the starters, I like
it. You could have said twos.
I did not.
The backups.
I didn't notice it. I didn't notice it. Like I feel like that's a group where there are some guys who are pretty interchangeable, and that's what I thought they were going to be, though. But it's good that that's kind of proving out through the first couple of games.
So BC, as
your
I think he said it was interesting. So,
I don't know.
I don't trying to process the information. You're just mad because I called you a basketball player.
You're mad.
I thought my mic cut out for a second. You ever have that happen? Like, so I didn't think you guys were hearing me. And
I pretend to, and Ravi talks all the time.
No, when you're talking and you think like you don't know if you're being heard or you're on the air, that like you just start speaking more gibberish than I normally speak. So that's what that last answer, if it was gibberish, that was kind of like halfway through. I was like, am I even on this thing right now? So
is this thing on?
Yeah, it was that situation.
No, we would have started yelling at you, be like, hey,
all right, good.
We can't hear you.
All right, good.
We can't hear you. Start waving our arms and things. You know, it would have been a whole to do. Yeah. You know, that's DB likes to make a scene sometimes. So
it's been that kind of morning, B. I feel like I say that 3 out of 5 days a week.
At least there's 2 good days in there. That's all right.
I know.
I mean,
usually a good batting average.
Usually days where I don't let him talk that much.
I think it's the 3 that are the good days. I don't know what you guys are talking about. BC, as you kind of look ahead to Houston Christian, I mean, I imagine we haven't done too much like game prep. Like, what do you do with a team like this where you go, okay, one of their games was against an NAI team that their record and schedule on their website only goes back to 2022, and it doesn't appear they've played or at least logged a whole season at any point in that time in Arkansas Baptist. And then you've got this super weird box score against Eastern Kentucky where they outgain them. They hold them like 100 yards of total offense, but they fumble it 4 times and lose the game. Like, how much are you actually thinking about Houston Christian? How much are you actually thinking about just what Nebraska needs to do and what you see out of them? Like, this is sort of an awkward week.
Yeah, it is. Because I hate to talk down an opponent or actually talk around an opponent. But I do think it's about Nebraska and just going out there and being that team like they were last week, just building on that where, okay, you're going to hear this storyline suggested. It's 11 a.m. You just won 68-0. Michigan's, down the road. Are you going to maintain your focus despite some of these items that people are going to list as to why you could have a sleepy performance? And so this can be an opportunity for them to show some real maturity in a game like this and this setup to just go like play to that standard they've been talking about. It's about what you're doing. And I love that line that Rule had. I know the whole thing went viral, but about like a player from another team that's maybe a group of 5 or an FCS guy shaking your hand after the game. And this is so true, I think. Like, you need to have it be one of those deals where they do put their head down a little bit as they do it, because they know that you're just better, and okay, this is why it's Nebraska, and not a deal where the guy, and I think this happened in some games in the past, in last year and years before, like Northern Iowa, where there's probably some guys who walked over and shook hands from Northern Iowa last season, thought like, I can play with the guy I matched up against for some of those reps in that game. And so you don't want that. So that's what I'm looking for this Husker team, is to make it one of those handshakes, much like the Akron one probably was, where it's the other guys realize like, yep, there's a gap there. I see why these guys are playing at this level.
Yeah, you know what's interesting? As a guy that, trailed at the half against Wyoming, right? At home, and a year in which we won a natty. You know what this one is about for me, for this team? It's emotional maturity. I will be thoroughly impressed, BC, if Nebraska can stay on the gas 2 weeks in a row playing against the best version of themselves.
Yep.
Like, that's because it's hard to do. Like, we weren't even good at it yet, and it almost got away from us. Like, I would be thoroughly impressed if this team, who hasn't won meaningful games in so long, could string together 2 weeks of being the best version of themselves and get better. Like, I mean, that's where it's at for me if I'm going to critique it, because that's what it's all about. At some point, it can't be about who you play, and that's to the good or to the bad. Like, if they stay on the gas this week, man, color me impressed, and I'm not kidding you.
Yeah, exactly. And more guys like just erasing first and getting some stuff done where it's like, okay, I made that step. Now let's do the next one. Like whether it's like a Cortez Mills catching a touchdown or something like that. Just different guys checking boxes in this game, playing at a high level, gaining confidence. And it's not unusual for them at this point to play in Memorial Stadium. They've had a couple cracks at it after this weekend. So that's all very useful, but I'm exactly with you. This is one of those games where you see how mature your football team is. It sounds like they've had a really good week of practice. Like, Rule really liked how they came in on Sunday and we're getting after the details. And it sounded like Holgerson yesterday was pretty high on how things were going, better than last week even. And so that's all promising. But now, of course, it's making sure you're ready for some brunch football.
Because there's a certain degree of difficulty that's hard for me to like put into words when you know you have everything to lose, and the internal gain is something that people can't really measure, right? So it takes on a whole new.
The gains are all.
It takes on a whole new competitive thing inside the walls of that stadium. That it's its own unique challenge
Yeah.
in my opinion.
I love when the guys who are, I'm talking in code around what Damon said earlier. The guys who are on the field first. I like when they,
they're called starters.
I'm just
Shut
messing
up,
with
Ravi.
you. I'm just messing with you. But I like when those guys also have that mission that's so evident. And I thought it was last Saturday. Like, I know how much everybody on this roster works. I want those guys to get 15, 20, 25 reps that don't play as much or won't maybe play as much in some other games. And obviously you respect your opponent and you don't go in just thinking like you're ahead 42-0, but that's exactly it. Going in like we're going to build this thing up and make it a game like last week where those guys do get that experiences and they can check those boxes. So that's what I want to see from that group who's out there as the starters. I just want to see them like hand the baton over again early and let those guys get their chances.
I asked this question, I don't know, it might have been the Sipple, so that doesn't count. But do you pay attention, B, to – no, it might have been Sam. It might have been Sam. What's going on tactically in special teams? Or do you just kind of look at their return and grade the results? Because I was telling Sam, I really like some of the concepts that they're trying to employ. And Nebraska's they missed a few on kickoff return, but we've seen it reap some dividends in the punt return game where schematically I think they're pretty sound.
Yeah.
Do you watch the whole evolution of it or just the returner?
I probably watch the ball more, but I appreciate what you're saying because obviously it doesn't happen. You don't get to 87 yards from Barney, 92 total, tops each of the last 4 seasons, which is an incredible stat in one night with your return yards. That doesn't happen unless you have guys doing their job, but also like, as you say, like some schemes and some things that are well drawn up. And the thing about it is they went into that game expecting that. So that's a deal where they saw, there was going to be opportunities there if you do your jobs. And I like that they came out of the first game in Kansas City too, and they weren't just patting special teams on the back only because Cunanan and Archie Wilson had a really good day, which they did. But it was more about, there was some good stuff with the kickers, but we left some returns out there and we got after these guys. And so I like that you're holding those guys accountable in weeks where there was a chance for that big play and maybe you missed it, and setting that tone of like, you guys can be the difference. 10 days from now, you guys can settle the score in a game like that, like by doing your job really well. And that has to be exciting for all those people involved. And I just think Mike Eckler's energy, his mind for it, and the way like he, even just like bringing in Archie Wilson and being way ahead of that, knowing exactly who he wanted to get and knowing how that was going to change the dynamic for special teams and how they could pin teams with it and all that stuff. He's just a forward thinker with that. And I think we're going to see the benefits as the season goes on. I'm not saying there's not going to be lumps, but you can tell there's a definite pep in the step with that group, and guys like Vince Genatone and Kamir Prescott was out there, and guys doing a good job that we don't talk about all the time.
BC and I might just be dumb here, but
probably
this is one of the first times I've actually thought about, because you talk about punt returns and things like that, and I sort of just assume, you kind of just they block them up a certain way, and that's what it is, and then you see what you can do. Like, it's one of the first times I've actually thought about wow,
I told you.
I think about it a lot.
It's all right.
It's one of the first times I've actually thought about, like, hey, if we want to block it up a certain way so that, we're getting these gunners totally out of the picture and they're not even a problem. And then we're going to focus on this specific area of, they're lining up their punt block or their punt protection this way. So we're going to do this instead. Like, it's the first time I've thought about it almost like a real defense and an offense in terms of blocking scheme, as opposed to just like, oh, they're special teams, they got to get back there and hopefully it's in return.
Yeah, I'm kind of like you, Ravi, and that's the beauty of what they've got going over there and what they're trying to make I think a game-changing unit that doesn't just try to break even, but tries to break games open. Actually, no trying, Eckler would say, that just go do it. And so far, I mean, you have to be encouraged. It'd be one thing if we were just sitting here after 2 games, just trying to force a narrative that, I feel great about special teams because Mike Eckler's there, and you kind of, sometimes that happens where it's like you're supposed to have this storyline, so you go with it. But we're seeing, like, so far the evidence that there's improvements there. I mean, just with they made big kicks and punts in the first game, and I don't know if they win that game if they don't do that. That's a pretty big deal. That's one game that was hanging in the air, and they pulled it out because they did some things right there. And then they came back. They said, yeah, but we didn't get enough with the returns. And I know the competition, all that, blah, blah. But they went out there and they had a night they haven't had in 5 years, returning the ball. And that counts for a lot. So, they've built it up in both sides. Now they do need to stop kicking the ball out of bounds with the guy's not named Kunan, and stop that. So there's still things to hit on, but
once coincidence, twice is a fluke. Let's see, 3 or more, they're trending. So let's
not see that anymore.
So BC, let close with this, just because you don't really know. You're giving your halftime speech not because you ultimately think it's going to be on camera. You're giving the halftime speech because I think you think that's what your team needed, and he genuinely was pissed. But one of the things that I like that he's talking about when he says, we should make 52-yard kicks, or, we should go out and play like this, or we want to be like, for me, everybody talks about year 3 rule and what it means. And I said this in the offseason. He comes across like a guy that is now defending the program. That's what he wants the players to do, to defend the culture. When I hear him kind of lose his mind over what we think, it ranks differently on our importance meter, right? Until we play the right opponent. But it all matters in the grand scheme of things, because I think he truly is wanting to defend the culture. That's what we hear when we hear him say he's not all in on the special teams against Cincinnati, or he does want them to play. We read, because we're just sarcastic and cynical by nature. It's almost like that line in Jerry Maguire, right? We live in a cynical world. But I think he truly is trying to defend the culture, and that's what we hear.
Yeah, and I think he truly believes he's got a good football team that can hit a certain standard, and why would you not reach that bar no matter what's in front of you, no matter what it says on the score? I mean, you only get 12 regular season games, and we talk all year about this stuff, and we go to an open practice and we observe like every little thing, and like, this guy has a quick first step and all that. It would be silly if you got to the games and every snap that a guy was out there didn't mean something to them, and actually to us kind of covering it. Like, we shouldn't just like take it for granted, that there's a football game in Lincoln, Nebraska at 11 a.m. on Saturday and it counts, like that. And so all those guys, like, every rep, they should be like, this is going on tape. This is going to be in front of my guys tomorrow, and it's got to be a good rep. You wouldn't half butt it during a Tuesday practice trying to win your spot. So why are you going to do it here? But I do like that, whatever you want to call it, it was a reminder. And there's some guys who are about to come into the game. Like, let's go now. This is your time. I don't want to see you acting like we're up 6 touchdowns, just play ball, play the snap in front of you and the man in front of you and do it well. So I really like the message. And I think it was pretty well received by the fan base, too, it seems like.
That is our guy, Brian Christopherson, Husker 24/7. BC, appreciate the time as always. We'll talk to you next week.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
Thanks, B.
That is our guy, Brian Christopherson. We'll be back.
Dracar Noir.
With Andy Kendeigh from KETV.
I guarantee he's a big, let's guess. AK strikes me as a...
Seems like more of a classic type.
Yeah, let's go with gray flannel.
Well, I'm not familiar with gray flannel.
Yeah.
He seems like
big Burberry guy.
he might be. He seems like he might be like a polo blue guy.
Oh, is there such a thing?
Yeah.
Polo blue?
Yeah, Ralph Lauren polo blue.
I'm not familiar with blue. I knew red and green.
Yeah, there's a blue now. I don't know. It might be new. I'm not sure. Relatively.
I bought cologne in 4 years. Big Bath and Body Works guy.
I was gonna say I like to do the Bath and Body Works stuff. I do
still have some old school Geo.
Yeah, I've got a couple colognes, but if
I
I want
used
to like
to take my brother's hand-me-downs.
switch the scents up, I'd go to get a little body spray from Bath and Body Works.
Like when you want to
Ravi?
ask me a question.
Yeah, except for it smells not gross. Unless Axe wants to sponsor us, then it's delicious. We'll be back with Andy Kendeigh.
Our question of the day, Huskers wins on this season, over or under 9.5.
Go Big Red, over! Have you looked at Matt Rule year 3? Come on. Baylor, Temple, over 10 wins. We're going 10-2, easily.
I think we're going 9-3.
Oh, we're going over 100% Nebraska all the way.
I agree. Over 9 for sure. Because
Solid.
Jalen Graham's dad is the best. Grandpa, he's got it.
We're going to be undefeated going to College Station, Penn State. Better be a whiteout. What's happening? Because the Huskers are coming, all right?
Last year, they got to a bowl game. This year, it's a whole nother level, and that's getting 10 wins.
Playoffs.
I don't know about football. I know about beer. I'm a Hawkeye fan in disguise, so I don't comment here.
I don't think they're going to hit 9 wins.
I think we go 11-1 this year and go to the playoffs this year.
Okay, we don't play Indiana. So, I mean, hey, 12-1, hey, that's my prediction.
Over 9.5 wins. Hammer the money line. Skurs are back, baby. Skurs by 90. Let's go Big Red, huh?
And remember, for the best sports book in Nebraska, be sure to visit Warhorse Casino in Lincoln and in Omaha.
So I'm excited with Big Brothers Big Sisters. We're partnering up with you guys to we've done this before in the past where there's been trying to get more Big Brothers Big Sisters signed up. This year we've got a special event. Before we get into that, I kind of just wanted to find out a little bit more about you and how you got involved with Big Brothers Big Sisters.
Sure. So I have actually been working for Big Brothers Big Sisters of the Midlands for almost 2 years now. But before that, I was actually a big, and I have had a couple of little sisters in the past, over the past 10 years. So I've kind of seen it from both sides. I've been able to actually see the mentorship side, and got a lot of passion, obviously, for the organization at that point, and have worked in nonprofits for a long time, and they were hiring. And so I was so excited to be able to kind of come on board with the Midlands organization as well. So, yeah.
I think it's been solid. Of course, there's always room for improvement, and we want to be considered one of the best passing teams in the country, but we've also faced some really tough servers compared to a lot of teams. When Pitt and Kentucky had two of the best topspin servers in the country, so I think some of those numbers are skewed a little bit by aces, where hopefully we don't give up 4 or 5 aces against the same server too often this year, but definitely something we're going to continue to get better at. But overall, fairly satisfied. We hit, this weekend our passing numbers weren't as good as you would think, but we didn't have that many opportunities, and we hit over almost 400 as a team, so that's pretty good.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. Don't forget, you can always come to Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill, watch whatever games you got going on, and they will always have great food and drink specials for you as well. Not quite as special, though, as our next guest, Andy Kendeigh from KETV. What's up, AK?
Morning, boys.
Hey, AK, how we doing?
We're doing all right, DB. Let me just tell you, this little telestrator gizmo that you got going on the iPad for KETV, it is game changing.
Listen,
fantastic.
Listen, AK, I now look forward. I mean, Lauren was cool. Don't get me wrong. But I actually look forward to seeing what she has cooked up, because you know what she does, and she's super creative, so she'll probably just keep this going. She gives me some options now. It's like, hey, I have 3 or 4 of these, or I have 2 or 4 of the, 2 or 3 of these. What do you? And we just kind of But here's the beauty of it: the telestrator is so DB dumb proof. I can do it quick. I don't even have to think. And it's not me. It's the what do you call it? It's the program.
The program?
Yes.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It is slick. And so I can work way quick.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's the people who don't know, on Sunday nights, DB does a segment that he breaks down a play with a telestrator, and it's a program that Lauren pushed for and we purchased for the fall. It's just this technology that allows Damon to go on an iPad and literally show you what happened before the play happened. It's really, I don't know, for a guy who, I played very, very low-level football, but I learned something. It's pretty cool to see what you think about the play before it happens. I saw that Emmett Johnson run, that first run where he broke, and Heinrich's kickout block was thing of beauty, right? So
I think real time I said, well done, number 10. It was just because he missed that the week before.
100%. And that's a physical play by him. That's something that maybe a month ago he doesn't make, but he did. But the one you did the week before on Cincinnati, and for people who didn't see it, I'm sure we have it somewhere, but was the play the interception by Malcolm Hartog in the end zone. And the way you explained it was, to dumb it down for an idiot like me, of course he baited him in because I can't remember who the corner was there. Just
Sierra Wright.
Yeah,
Sierra on that.
Yeah, Sierra Wright. And then Malcolm comes over.
Yeah, Sorsby thinks he's open. For
a split second he's wide open. In fact, I'm standing on the side on that sideline. I'm like, oh no.
In defense, I also thought he was open.
Listen,
on the TV broadcast, I thought it was a touchdown.
And I'll tell you guys both this. In cover 2, Malcolm was definitely pushing it. When he snapped the ball, Hartzog was 6 or 7 yards depth. You prefer to be 10. Okay, but it got him the pick though, because he did bait it. He was awful close to the line of scrimmage though.
Yeah, I was already shaking my head, balls in the air. I'm like, are you kidding me? This is how this game is going to end. Are you kidding me? And then all of a sudden, Malcolm makes the play of the day, and I'm like, oh, okay. But just the way that you said that, on the telestrator, you could see the receivers, and you blocked out where the DBs were.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't. It's just a cool little thing, and it's a cool little addition that we've added, and I think it really lends itself to what and you can explain it to people like me who don't know all the X's and O's. So I think that's pretty cool.
Let me ask you something about being pretty cool, AK. Did you because the only time I saw you was getting food. Do you like the new? It's just week 1, but did you like the whole? Kind of peppers and the hot dogs and the onions and the Ravi's out on the banana pepper hot dog philosophy. But
why would you do that to hot dogs?
What did you think about the setup?
Yeah, I don't know what the hot dog did to you. Why do you have to put peppers on it?
Exactly.
Really? Oh, there's 2 of you now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hot dogs are plenty good on their own. We don't need to start doing weird stuff.
if you want to throw sauerkraut on the side, I mean, maybe, but no, I'm not doing that. Give me a hot dog. It's fine. I actually was fine with it. Hot dogs and hamburgers, I'm pretty easy to please, and the price is right. So I enjoyed the new spread up there. My beef was, and here we go. Here comes whiny press guy. There's no post-game pizza, but whatever. What they say. They make the most improvements between week 1 and week 2.
Oh,
so maybe it shows up in week 2. Who knows?
All right.
Yeah, because you plan accordingly.
If you had your druthers, AK, it's an 11 o'clock kick. What would you like on the old menu? Are you guessing breakfast pizza? Are we going to do the scramble? Like, what do you think?
Give me some breakfast pizza.
Well,
what if they do like
actually,
burritos?
Yeah, this is a big moment for Aramark, right? This is a big moment
Yes.
to impress the media before an 11 o'clock kick. This is what people want to know about. I know that's for sure.
Well, we'll get to the good
think
stuff.
That they're going to try to kind of roll out something impressive. I would think. I think there's options. I think that if what we've learned from Aramark is they like options. So they're not going to just give you one thing. They're going to give you multiple options. So I'm thinking maybe some kind of breakfast dish, eggs or something, or maybe an omelet or something. Not an omelet.
No way. I was going to say.
There's no way they do omelets. I'm just saying pre-made something or other. They pre-made burritos or pre-made breakfast pizza or pre-made eggs. Now I'm hungry.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a good call. I never thought about the 11 a.m. thing because that was always an issue prior to this year, because breakfast pizza, everybody's either on team breakfast pizza or not. I'm on team breakfast pizza. I'm fine with that. I'm going to slice it to me. It's okay.
I get to know the staff so well. I was joking last week that the oatmeal raisin cookie is still like the poor wayward orphan. We saw monster cookies, sugar cookies, sucker doodles, chocolate chip, zero representation from the old oatmeal raisin. It's a travesty, Andy.
Oatmeal raisin are
I'm a
disgusting.
big oatmeal
raisin are
guy, too.
disgusting. What are we doing?
I'm on team oatmeal raisin. Are you kidding me?
I'm like,
fantastic.
You had me with the hot dogs.
it
I'm out on
deserves
oatmeal
more
raisin.
respect.
I'm out on the oatmeal raisin.
It deserves more respect. Yeah,
It does.
I will say the cookie selection was lacking.
So AK, let me ask you something about the units and the seeking perfection and not wanting teams to don't schedule Nebraska again. At what point did you think you were going to see some sort of drop off versus how the game actually played out? Because I couldn't remember the last time I saw 3 proficient quarterbacks in a game that looked like they were well coached. I got to go back to like Turman in Arizona State.
Yeah.
No, I'm dead serious.
No, I think you're right. We've seen decent play from a backup very sporadically over
Yeah,
the years,
it's hard to see a good backup when you know he's starting the next week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. And I was ready for a drop off mid third quarter. I thought they would play decently coming out of the gate and then kind of have a little chuckle fest. But to lay the hammer like they did, I was impressed. And maybe now knowing what we know about what happened at halftime played a role. And I was the thing that I was most impressed with, to expand on your point, was not only was the quarterback play outstanding from unit to unit, but also across the board, whether you're looking at running backs or you're looking at the defensive line or what have you. There wasn't much of a drop off, if much at all, going into that second unit. In fact, and you can make the claim that obviously the situation's presented itself more to pin your earbacks and go rush the passer, but they generated some decent rush with those guys. And sometimes that it gets really sloppy when you bring in those second and third team units. And I didn't see that at all. And that was what I was most impressed with. And I think this is, this week we're looking at the same situation, right? So the challenge is to have Nebraska take this game seriously and do what they're supposed to do and put up a 50 burger on these guys. So I think that's the challenge for the coaching staff and the players themselves. You add on top of everything, it's the second home game, not the home opener, and it's an 11 a.m. start with most likely a sleepier crowd than you had last Saturday.
Well, isn't it kegs and eggs? Like that was the mantra. We got a blood moon coming. I mean, come on, man. Like are you not feeling this, AK?
Well, I'll tell you, it was funny when Sean, I think Sean asked him a question about the 11 a.m. kick, and Coach Rule cut him off. It was just like, and they started giving the pep talk to the fans. Like, I know our fans are coming out early. They're going to get their game faces on and blah, 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 blah. I was.
If it ain't a recruiting question, Coach Rule, he ain't trying to hear from old gas can. We're hitting fast forward on that bad boy.
He was all over it on the. He was all in on revving up the fans, which I thought, I was like, okay, this. I just am.
What if they respond though? Have you what if it is like lit at 11 a.m. Like
that would be pretty.
Here's the wild card about being able to drink in the stadium.
Mimosas?
No, here's what I'm saying.
Does Neutral make a?
They don't make a mimosa. That's a great idea.
No,
a great idea. No. Give me a little canned mimosa. That'd be incredible. A little canned peach Bellini. I'm all in. So the
wow. I feel like he's done this before.
Here's the I'm a brunch drinker. Here's the major difference is you don't have to get up at 8 a.m. and get drunk at 8 a.m. You can get up and get drunk at the stadium. Although drink responsibly, folks. But
sponsored by the NDOT.
That's a different thing. They're walking to the stadium. That's a totally different deal. I'm talking about the people from campus. Strictly.
Oh, shoot.
You can go. You don't have to get there at like 7, 8 o'clock in the morning to get a couple drinks in before the game. You can just get them right there at the game. I think we're looking at a totally different type of 11 a.m. start than we've ever had, AK.
Well, I agree, and I do think that the pre-gaming will be more condensed because, man, Saturday it was spread out, and there were some fans that were lathered up knowing that what the price tags were when they walked into the stadium, and the fact that they weren't able to leave. I was impressed with the student section being as full as it was when it was, and how it sustained. It really did.
So they got to get a memo, man. How is it that well coordinated? Like, what am I missing not being on campus anymore? Like, does Coach Rule send a memo like, hey, we got some big time guys coming. I'm going to need you guys in early. And they're like, oh, okay, cool. No problem, Coach.
My daughters both were there, and they were there early. And because they just said they didn't want to miss anything. And I'll tell you, for two girls who, are football fans, but not like diehards, but they are really into this team. And they say that, there's chatter about this team, and that hasn't been said in years past. You know what I mean? Like there's chatter within the student body. And I think that's important. You get the students revved up, and Coach Rule made mention of it before. He's like, they know, Nebraska knows that the students are the future student ticket holders, like those.
He
those
said that on several occasions. He knows what he's.
Yes.
I hear you.
So
I hear you.
You instill that early, and these students now want to come back and buy their season tickets and donate, whatever in the future. This is where you kind of light the fire, and I think that's a very, very smart and terrific approach to sell your program.
That's our guy, Andy Kendeigh, AK. Appreciate the time as always. We'll talk to you next week.
Fellas, be good. DB, we'll see you bright and early for breakfast burritos or whatever the heck they're going to serve.
You got it, man. I'm going to be hiding out in that place with the big red door. Come say hi.
Okay, we'll do.
Thank you.
All right, AK. That's our.
Do you know why they painted the door red?
So you wouldn't get lost.
Wow.
That's a challenge.
Am I wrong?
I was just going to say because it's been dubbed the Greg Sharp radio booth, but sure.
My bad.
That too, it isn't easy. The lady on the elevator, she goes, well, at least you know where you're going now. That's fine.
Is that the same lady that was giving you a hard time about the lanyard?
No, she's different. I'll show her to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's regular.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is she the one right when you get off the elevator?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I know who she is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
See, I'm real nice to those people. So
you know what I started to do, but I knew she was kind of joking with me.
What's that?
Like a couple of years ago, I told her I liked her glasses.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know if she would remember, but as I was walking away, I was like, I'm going to take back that glasses comment. I was just going petty for petty.
2 years later, you're keeping receipts on
It's a
on
little
a
longer than that
compliment.
too, but yeah. Yeah.
It's about as long as you left that shrimp pizza out.
Is
That is so not
is the booth the only room with that has a red door?
Yes.
That surprises me. I mean, it really does.
No, it's great for me because in a hurry, like when you only have like a minute 30 for a commercial break and you're like sprinting, I've ran past that door probably 3 times.
So I wasn't totally wrong.
I mean, in like 4 years. I mean,
You've been going there 4 years. You still don't know which door it is?
You can kind of miss it. I'm just saying.
That's fine. That's fine. It happens. Happens to the best of us.
Whatever. I don't really like the cut of your jib this morning.
All right, Walt Kowalski. I like the cut of your jib.
I just don't. I should ask TK where that came from, but he'd tell me to Google.
Yeah, he'd be
Do you like his passive aggressiveness?
Yeah, he sounded like severe. Well, you could just Google it. I did wonder.
That dude was on a roll last night.
I did wonder if it was a just mispronunciation of
Medlin?
of
Midland?
middling.
Middling.
Yeah.
Middling.
Not Midland, like formerly Lutheran.
Well, I think it was Ken. Somebody said either pronunciation is acceptable.
Todd said it, but it's because when the mispronunciation of a word becomes as common or widespread as the actual pronunciation, then they will add it to the dictionary, even though it's originally incorrect.
Oh.
The more you know.
Right. Do you like the smell of your lotion?
No, it's terrible.
Good.
I'm very mad at you.
I'm glad you like it.
Not a fan.
I'm not either. I just need it. I just told you, man, that soap is just drying my hands out. I feel ashy.
Right, but if you put the lotion on your hand and then rub it off on somebody else, it doesn't actually help you stay
You
moisturized
probably
that
prefer
much.
it in the basket, don't you?
You're the serial killer guy. You're the one's like, oh, I like the competitiveness and the serial killers and the
I
process.
said methodology and the
sorry.
process.
That's worse.
I didn't say I like the serial killers.
Yeah,
Why do you just put it on the shelf? You don't put it in the basket?
like the methodology of the serial killers. It's a little weird.
Hey, by the way,
Yeah.
because we have to talk to Mitchell.
Yeah, we're going to talk to Mitch Sherman in 8 minutes.
I need some tell-all games that you think are going to tell you what you may not know.
Oh, well, it's funny you mentioned that. I made a list. Because sometimes I know you don't think I work very hard sometimes, but sometimes when you say things and you're like, oh, it'd be fun to get to something like this, I remember it. And then
that's nice. You stored that in the old.
I kind of go and do a little bit of work on it. If you ever looked at the rundowns, you would know this.
I read them all. So, hey, quiet as kept. Do you know you went a couple days without sending them?
Did I?
Well, the last one I got for this week was Friday, as of yesterday.
They're being sent. You're just not getting them.
Well, where are they at? In Teams?
No, they're in the old inbox. We do know you've had some email challenges in the past. Correct or incorrect?
Oh, why are you bringing up old stuff? That's going to never get old,
Brian.
Because that's how I want to talk to you when I think you're acting like an idiot.
Okay, so Tuesday it went to Rico, Austin, Sasha, DB. Wednesday went to Sasha, DB, Rico, Austin. Monday. Let's see what we got for Monday. I'm gonna guess I sent it to everybody. Oh,
and I can give myself the same grace.
I get that they're not coming to you, but there's a disconnect between me sending it and you receiving it.
But I'm just saying, like, you make it seem like I can't read.
No, I'm not saying you can't read. I'm saying there may be an issue with your email. Like we've had issues with the email in the past.
Well, I don't know. I get everybody else's.
How many emails you get on your work email?
Although maybe I'm doing something wrong. I don't have anything past the 5th.
That's what maybe it's like your inbox is full or something. Maybe I have to delete some stuff.
How about all of them?
I mean, that's probably fine.
No, you're exactly right.
Thank you, Coach.
That's probably fine. Go Satterfield, no? Did you want to know what games that I was thinking about?
No.
Okay.
Yes. You're such a pouty baby. Golly, I don't even know. Rose and I are going to have to talk about that. Like, she did this. She did. The whole mama's boy overcoming, like, making sure that the blood sugars
Yeah.
were good have really softened your soul. Like, you are kind of a sucky baby.
So sometimes you say I'm too mean-spirited.
Well, that's your defense mechanism.
Harsh, and then sometimes I'm too sensitive. So you got to kind of pick one, DB. It really can't be both.
Difference between being a prick and your defense mechanism.
All right, I'm going to give you a list real quick, and we're going to talk to Mitch here in a minute. But I'm curious.
Shane, I assume we're not taking a break, so you better tell the boys back at the hub.
Oh, no, we're taking a break.
Okay, let's take a break.
Hey,
I don't want Rico.
You know he's not going to act right the rest of the time, Shane, because you just cut him off.
I don't want Rico mad
that.
at me. Or Austin.
Enjoy him for the remainder of this hour.
Rico and Austin aren't here.
Or Sasha.
Here we go.
She's not here either. She left. It's fine. Let's take a break. We're talking
I get all
Mitch
the mean texts from him.
You asked for it. It's usually me.
Oh, no. We got the mean text. It's Shane's show, apparently. That's DB. I'm Ravi. Lulla.
No, it's not.
We're just here producing for him, I guess. It's Hurrdat Sports Live. We'll talk to Mitch Sherman coming up next.
Yeah, we're just so excited to be home. 3 straight weeks we get to be here, so really excited about that. The back-to-back road trips were definitely a toll on us as coaches, on our players. Felt like we just got back from Madison and then just turned around and got on another plane. So happy to be home. We have the best fans, and I think that was something that this weekend really reminded us is how grateful we are to have the support and the community that we have, and to get to play in front of a sold-out Sokol Arena this weekend is something we're really excited for. I thought highs and lows this weekend. Again, still fighting to be more consistent as a team. Something that we're going to continue to get better in the gym with, but love that we're playing the best teams in the country. I know UC Santa Barbara is now rightfully receiving votes. San Diego, I think, is a top 30 team as well, and so we're just going to continue to play the best teams we can play, and we'll do that again this weekend.
Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
And again, I just think Coach Rhule's doing an excellent job of keeping people's attention and constantly improving, improving through practice. A week ago, I stood up here in front of you guys and I was irritated because I didn't feel like we had a very good practice. I didn't think it was very good. It got better on Wednesday. It got better on Thursday. The guys had some downtime Thursday, downtime Friday, downtime Saturday, and then they were ready to go. Okay. And so, today was better than last Tuesday. I thought today was a pretty good practice. So I think we have their attention. They were having a whole lot of fun last Saturday, and I think they're looking forward to getting out there and having a whole lot of fun this Saturday.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Centris Federal Credit Union. That's DB. I'm Ravi, Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. We're joined now by Mitch Sherman from The Athletic. Mitch, how are we this morning?
I'm great. It's good to see the two of you. How are you?
Oh, that's kind. That's the first nice thing anybody said this morning. I'm good. I'm
that I can deliver that.
Thank you. I'm significantly better. I'm waiting for a punchline now, but that's not even your style. You're pretty businessy. That's cool.
Oh, well, thanks.
I feel better. Thank you, Mitch.
Yeah, he was cranky before that. I appreciate you helping out.
Just, very Ravian this morning. He's parsing through coworkers versus colleagues, and he's just very.
Let me ask you, Mitch. If I say the word your colleagues, what does that mean? What set of people does that describe?
Well, I often hear it brought up in
you know what happens when you ask a smart guy a question. Go ahead, Mitch.
I'm just going to tell you what I've been conditioned to by the companies that I've worked at, but it's in reference to the people that you work with. Like colleagues for me would be my coworkers at The Athletic. Now, I don't know that that's the correct definition. It could be.
I'm glad you left it open to interpretation.
It could be somebody who works in a similar profession, but at a different organization. I could see it that way, and I
coworkers
feel like that's more natural. But coworkers is the way I most often hear it mentioned.
Coworkers, by definition, are the same place of employment. Colleagues are same profession, field, industry. Could be different companies.
Oh, okay.
So,
yep.
Thank you, DB, and partially Mitch, for being open and not as closed-minded as my Ravinian friend over here, who has now become an associate. Now, Google that.
Do you want to give him the context of what I said? I said
I saw my colleagues at the stadium,
and I asked, "Oh, you saw?"
He listed off all Hurrdat people, and I was like, well, no. And he goes, well, I was just thinking colleagues. And I was like, well, I meant people that work in our profession.
Yeah. All I said was, when you said colleagues, I thought you meant people that worked at our company.
Yeah. What?
I wasn't as hard-lined as sometimes I'm very open.
You guys have lost me now. I know. I'm not interested.
I know.
I'm totally disinterested.
You're never going to get these 2.5 minutes back, Mitch. So I'm going to ask you something super hard-hitting. For an 11 a.m. kick against Houston Christian, on the heels of a blood moon, what would you like for breakfast from our new catering company?
Oh, yeah. I'm not a big breakfast pizza guy. I just never have been. Do
you think it'll be breakfast pizza?
No, it probably won't. I'm in the minority on this.
Me too, always.
People love breakfast pizza, and I'm just I like breakfast food. I like pizza. I don't love them together. And I'm not going to force myself to eat it and make myself like it. Well, because there's not any kind of nutritional benefit.
Is it the egg phenomenon? What is it that
I like things on pizza that people don't like on pizza. We're not going to have this discussion, but I like pineapple on pizza. We're not going to go there, but I do like that. Breakfast food on pizza, sausage. Yes. Eggs, even bacon. I don't really love on pizza. The meat lover. I kind of veer away from that a little bit because I like bacon, but not on pizza. It's too breakfasty. So I don't think we're going to get that. I hope we don't get that. Aramark seems to be a little bit more trending, kind of high end on their food.
Were you not impressed with the pregame?
It was fine. Yeah, it was fine. Sometimes I might want the low end food, but it was fine. The salad was a little too uppity for me. It was the spinachy salad. I just want the iceberg, the good old fashioned salad.
Weird.
When you start serving vinaigrettes with my salad, I'm out. Give me ranch. I need the ranch.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's going to be. I think we're going to get. I think they're going to give us breakfast food because people are generally eating that at 9:30 in the morning for an 11 a.m. kickoff. I think we're going to get eggs and bacon and sausage. How about that?
That'll be interesting. I'm color me curious. Let me ask.
Be like staying at a Spring Hill Suites.
You're gonna have a little waffle maker for you. Just turn that thing over.
You might.
So
and it'll be beeping, and yeah.
Waffle's done.
The little conveyor belt thing. All right, Mitch, let me ask you something, because this may be. I want to get your thoughts on the personality traits versus what kind of game this is. When you look at Coach Rule, Coach Butler, and Coach Holgerson, and kind of their delivery or temperament, it seems like it's a good fit for what the perception is of a game like this against Houston Christian on the heels of Michigan. Because I think this game is all about emotional maturity. I talked about trailing at half against Wyoming, and we were supposed to be a good team. We just weren't quite ready. We hadn't seen that hurdle yet, right? Downplaying to an opponent. Like, it was new for us. We had to go through it. Their personalities seem to be well suited for a game like this.
I think their personalities are well suited for most games. And I think the thing that I have gathered from watching like Dylan used the term the head of the snake yesterday in talking about Rule in particular and his halftime fire him up speech from Saturday, which I think has become like the storyline of the week for Nebraska. And I didn't know, like, I went into this week going, my gosh, what is the storyline of the week going to be? You just won 68-0. You got to wait a whole week before you can really bring out the Michigan conversation. And, Matt Rule quickly answered that question with his, his revelation that he was angry. And then we saw the video later. I think that, like, the three of them together are the head of the snake in some ways. And just the way that they mesh, like with their, sometimes you get, and it doesn't mean that your team isn't going to work. It doesn't mean that like you can't have chemistry or togetherness, but sometimes you get a head coach and an OC and a DC who just don't seem on the same page with their messaging and like the way that they deliver messages. They might be fine in game planning, and you could win a national championship under those circumstances. I don't know that. Well, Tom Osborne and Charlie McBride, so different in terms of their personality, but they mesh together great, I think, in complementary ways with their communication skills. The three that Nebraska have now, and you could put Mike Eckler in there too. We just don't get to hear from him every week in the media. It's really interesting. And I think that, like, you hear from all three of them, and complimentary, yes, but also just very steady, consistent messages. You're not going to talk to one of them as a player and then talk to the other one and feel like you got something that was conflicting at all. So I don't know if I answered your question, but that's kind of where it went in my brain when you asked. And I just feel like, yeah, the three of them all together in how they speak to the team is beneficial for this group.
Yeah, Rule consistently talking about no drop-off. The standard is the standard. Coach Holgerson going day by day about practice efficiency, right? Like, and then you hear Coach Butler say, listen, from scheme to personnel types to how I call the game, this is what we're looking for, and it's about playing. It's just how they talk. It just, I don't know, man. It doesn't seem like they leave any stone unturned, and even with themselves and how they approach it and how they're disseminating the information, it can't help but to trickle down to the players, you'd think.
Yeah, because then the players start to adopt that,
and they say
personality, and there's not a big. And again, like, does this mean that you're going to win more games? I don't know. It can't hurt to have consistency in the message and just consistency in everything, in the way that you get from them. You're not going to get like a real high.
It does build in accountability, though. It definitely builds in accountability.
Yeah, it's kind of an ambiguous thing. Like, there's not really a way to put your finger on like what the impact of that is going to be, at least from my perspective. There probably is, like, the players could speak to that because they hear from these three, and and four, if you put Eckler into it, they hear from them probably more than anybody, like in front of the whole team, or in front of like the offense and defense, like half the team. So yeah, I think there's a real value to it. It's something to like continue to watch as the season goes on, and to be most valuable for them when they're going through a moment of adversity, like 68-0. You probably don't get to that point if you have like inconsistency in the message being delivered to the players, but if you do, and it's not necessarily going to hurt. Like when they get into the Big Ten and they're in this slog of games that are just expected to be competitive and close every week, I think that's when it really becomes of increased value to know what you're going to get, no matter who it is that the coach that's standing in front of you is.
Mitch, do you think, you said something there that kind of caught my attention about, does that mean you're going to win more games? And you say, well, I'm not sure, but it doesn't hurt. And I think we think that about a lot of the things we see from this coaching staff, right? We're like, hey, I kind of like how they do this. I don't know if it leads to more wins, but it certainly can't hurt. And I like the way they're operating. And there's 100 of those things, right? And I just feel like at some point, like, yes, any 1 or 5 or 10 of those things don't necessarily mean you're going to win games. When you put them all together, like I feel like there's a tipping point at some point.
Was it like week 1 or 2, Mitch, where he gave, what was the innocuous example? And he goes, well, what does that have to do with winning? Nothing, but everything, right? That was like 2 years ago.
Yeah, he was talking about the box in the hallway, right? He goes,
picking up stuff. Yeah.
And so he's right. Like picking up a box in the hallway doesn't mean that you beat Michigan in 2 weeks, right? But if you add that in with all these other things we're talking about, like it just feels like at some point, and maybe that's why he says, I don't know, I'm sure there's a question in here somewhere, you can find it, but like maybe maybe that's why when he says like, hey, like I do it faster than 3 years if I could, maybe that's just the time that it sort of takes for it to actually tip from, I don't know if this leads to more wins, but this is the right way to go about things. Like maybe the third year is when you've accumulated enough of those things.
The defense of the program.
This is probably a rhetorical question, but would Matt Rule have gotten up in the locker room and delivered the message that he did in week 2 of year 1? Probably not. Like
no.
Yeah. You have to know him, and like the foundation has to be in place before you put yourself in a spot where it's 33-0 and you're lighting them on fire. Like it would have been a much different message if they had been in that spot. And there was thinking back to 2023, there was a game against somebody where Nebraska was in a comfortable spot at halftime, and they got a much different message. And in that game, I'm sure he could have found more reasons, or just as many, to nitpick about something. I mean, he was nitpicking about a few plays in the last 40 seconds of the half, or how Nebraska didn't instill enough fear in its opponent so that they just sat on the ball, or were fearful to cut the O lineman when Nebraska did the kneel down. Like that's you're reaching a little bit to find that, but it's great that he does it. I just think that they're all of these things, like talking about. I think at some point Rule mentioned in year 1 about the importance of the locker room being clean. And you don't want to walk into the locker room and see stuff all over the floor, and it's it's like the box in the hallway. You're not going to win a game because of that, but it's all about what you present as a program, and it's what all of those details are so important to him. And if that's important to him, then clearly messaging and like tone and just communication skills from the top all the way on down through the coordinators and the position coaches, like you have to have their personalities, and they're not all going to have the same personality. Certainly Butler doesn't have the same personality as Rule or Holgerson, but the way that they get their points across to the team needs to have consistency. And that's not a small thing. That's a big thing that does, in the end, like in a roundabout way, equate to giving yourself a better chance to win.
Yeah, it's fascinating. I talked to you, this is a handful of weeks ago, Mitch, and I said, one of the cool things about the CEO status is Coach Rule gets to put his individual fingerprints on a practice whenever he wants to, right? He can pull over Keona Davis or Justin Red or Amari Sant or whomever, and he can pour into them. And I'm like, the more they get his personality, the better off I think they'll be. I was talking to the guys yesterday, and Grant and Jay Moore about he gave practical when he said, I'll just tell you, this is just like the former player. When he said, don't schedule them again, they don't respect you. The fan, like if I didn't play, I would roll I'd be like, come on. But the player in me and those guys to a man were like, that was the goal. He gave words to what the end game was. Don't ever come here again to play us, right? Like, you need to know that when you left, I want you feeling as miserable about yourself as possible. So it resonated with us because he gave words to what we actually wanted to accomplish when you came to Memorial Stadium. That's why we all struggled with the whole Nebraska nice thing or cheering. For, you know what I mean? Like, if you ask us, it's cool to talk about, oh, it's nice. But as a player, it's like, get your ass up out of here, get your luggage, get back on the bus, don't come back. Like, when he said that, we were like high-fiving because that's ultimately, as a player, what you're after. He hit. I wonder
where that came from, because
I don't know, but he was spot on.
I don't think it's the mentality at Temple. I don't think he got that there. Maybe at Penn State, they felt that way, and it could be something that Paterno instilled. Although all the conversations that I've had and that I've heard other people have, whether it's in a press conference or on the side with Matt Rule, that's never something that I've heard come up until last week. And maybe it's just because he hasn't been in a situation with a team at Nebraska where you could do that to somebody, where you could demoralize an opponent. Like, most of their wins have been struggles, and they certainly haven't won a game 68-0. So, but I wonder where it came from. I wonder if that's something that he picked up from. He obviously embraces everyone who he can that has a connection to Nebraska's past. And maybe he picked that up in recent years. Most of the stuff that we hear from him, the OOU and his single digits and all of that, like, it started early in his development as a head coach. But he is definitely a believer that you continue to learn. And here he is at 50, perhaps like picking up something new. And maybe that's something new. Maybe that's a talking point that he's not had. I don't imagine that he had that conversation a lot with the guys at halftime at Temple or at Baylor, and it's nonsense. It doesn't make any, it doesn't work, apply in the NFL. So that could be totally new to Nebraska, the Matt Rule at Nebraska. And, maybe he heard it from, somebody that, that like somebody like a Grant Wistrom. I'd be interested to ask him.
And maybe like we're doing too much with it, but I just think at some point, if Nebraska ever wants to be relevant, top 20 relevant, like Memorial Stadium has to be a place you don't want to come. If you get the extra $200,000 in a buy game, you need to contemplate your players' health, right? You need to understand, like, the money may not be worth it, because this isn't the first time that Nebraska had to pay a little extra for non-cons. But it used to be because we had to make it worth your physical trip, right? Like, this is not going to be good on your guys, but here's the money. Now it's, well, we want money in the coffers, so I'll sacrifice my guys. We need to. I think he wants it to get back to the point where
you have to pay a premium.
You have to pay a premium price if you want to come here for a buy game.
I'm sure there were probably some things that Joe Moorhead, the Akron coach, didn't love about the way the second half of that game went. But
100%,
Nebraska had a mission to accomplish, and that was more important than not hurting the feelings of a visiting coach. So that's fine, and like, it's fair game. I mean, you sign up for it, you got to play 60 minutes. So look, you're not gonna put Dylan back out there or put the starting defensive line out there when it's 68-0. Like, you have to think about your own team's health in the equation too, and I think that'll be in play. You would hope for Nebraska that decision is in play at some point on Saturday against Houston Christian. But the idea of not wanting to come back, like, I think it's a different conversation if you were to talk to players. Like, the Akron players probably don't want anything to do with Nebraska again, but I bet their administration will sign up for it. like, and they're the ones that ultimately make the decision. So unless you're going to be like Pacific in 1994, then there's probably not a whole lot that can happen to avoid that kind of a thing. I don't love the in the case of Akron or a G5 program, I don't love like the talking point that, oh, they have to do this because this is how they fund their entire athletic department. That's not the case. Like they get good money, but like you can't fund an entire group of 5 athletic department with $1.5 million. Like their operating budget is like 10 times that amount or more. So Nebraska's not like keeping their athletic department afloat by bringing these programs in, but there is great value, and it is maybe the single biggest chunk of money that a school like Akron receives in a calendar year.
Mitch, you were talking about maybe how Joe Moorhead didn't necessarily love how the second half went. We used to think about this a lot because it happened at Nebraska a lot, maybe not so much anymore, but I've always, like, if you're putting in second, third, fourth, whatever string guys in the game, I've always thought, like, don't you have an obligation to those guys to continue to call a normal game?
Should.
In the sense of, like, let them, like with TJ Lateef, one of the first things that I was talking with Austin about when we were watching the game was, hey, like, I hope they let TJ Lateef throw the ball a little bit. Like, just having him come and hand the ball off doesn't do anybody any good.
Yeah. Holgerson's perfect for that because he I think errs on the side of being aggressive there. Like, he doesn't care. He's not thinking about, oh, how is this going to, affect the psyche of the other sideline? It's not his MO. It has never been his MO. It's not how he coached as a head coach or an OC, at Texas Tech or Oklahoma State. So that's perfect. He's the one who wanted to keep Dillon in the game when it was 40-0. I was sitting there in the press box going, he's got to be done. Like, they have to be done. Like, they're not going to put him back out there when it's 40-0 and you're 5-6 minutes into the third quarter, just for like the law of averages. Like, you don't want him to, and he did, he did the spin move. I think that might've been on the drive to put him up 40-0, but like, don't put him in harm's way. And I didn't know, of course, like about the halftime conversation at that point. And maybe if I had, I would have thought differently. Like, I would have thought, well, maybe they'll give him another series. But it sounded like Dana was the guy who was saying, nope, we got to get him one more. Like, they had things they wanted to work on. And it was important for Holgerson to get him a 300-yard game. Like, that kind of stuff. Dillon's not going to stand up there at a press conference and say, yeah, I really wanted to get a 300-yard game. But it matters to him. Like, of course it matters to him. Like, he's human, and it's a big thing for a quarterback.
It also matters the way we talk about him, right? Like, not necessarily us, but like nationally, the way people talk about quarterbacks. Like,
stats matter.
Yeah, it's a different thing to throw for 270 than it is for 360, right? Like, that's
of course,
even if the game is the exact same.
And it's part of the bigger goal with Nebraska football in general. Like, Matt Rule wants this. He even said this. He goes, we don't want this place to be a joke, which I thought was pretty. Was pretty bold. But they want to be known as a football place, I think was his quote. And if you have a quarterback, maybe you're padding his stats, whatever, like other teams do it too. If you got a quarterback who going into the month of October is getting mentioned in the Heisman conversation, that helps Nebraska in a lot of ways. So he's, if they can do whatever they can do to create that scenario, they're going to jump at it.
Are we going to act like Lagway didn't get buzz after what they did against LIU and in his 18 minutes of play? Like, they absolutely did. And then last week happened, and Sellers still has yet to get off to a good start. So I'm just telling you, I don't have any problems with it, to be honest. There were only 6 shutouts in all of college football this past weekend. 6. And it was a dirty dog doo-doo schedule.
Yeah,
like,
right.
There wasn't a lot. You know what I mean? There were plenty.
There should be a lot in week 2. Yeah, you'd expect a lot.
And there weren't. So I don't have any. I mean, tell that to Iowa and Albany 2 weeks ago, right? Like, we do this thing where we downplay competitors, and the funny thing is, we don't want the players actually doing that, right? Like, as fans, you don't want the EKG of intensity.
Well, you saw them after the field goal block and how excited they were. And that's all about the shutout right there, because the game was not in doubt. And if you give up 3, like, it's not going to matter in as far as the the outcome or like really much of anything moving forward, but they wanted the 0. Like it had been a long time. And even if it hadn't, even if they had a shutout in week 1, they would have wanted it just as much in week 2.
You know he's always got something up his sleeve for motivation or to buzz.
Mm-hmm.
What is it that you think it is on Saturday?
Going into the game, I think it's going to be a continuation of the message that we've heard this week. Don't let up. Take care of your business. I don't care about the score. I care about the tape. Like it's a continuation of what happened last week. Now I say that, and he'll probably come out with something much smarter and much more developed, because that's he spends part of his time doing that. I don't know if maybe if he's got an inner circle that he sits down with after a game or before a game, and they talk about like what the motivational tactics are going to be. It would seem that he might, because they're always seemingly genuine and authentic and unique and well planned out. Just like you asked me that question, and I haven't thought so much this week about what's Nebraska's motivational tactic going to be in week 3 against Houston Christian. And I just say, probably a continuation of week 2. Take a step back. Now, it probably won't be a continuation of week 2, because Matt Rule's thought about it a lot more than I have, and he's got smart people thinking about it with him. So I'm sure they'll come up with something. I don't know what it'll be. Give me 3 hours and like a panel of people, and maybe we'll figure it out.
That's Mitch Sherman from The Athletic. Mitch, appreciate the time as always. Good talk today. We'll and even if you get that pineapple on your pizza, it's all right. We'll talk to you next time.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Mitch, the traditionalist.
I actually don't even mind pineapple on pizza. Like I'm not gonna kill him on that.
Well, not a big warm fruit guy.
Yeah, you don't like fruits and vegetables in general, though.
Maybe it's backwards. I like
your meat cold and your fruit hot.
Yeah, it should be that.
All right, go.
It's not funny.
It's a little funny.
You've grown this whole bit like I embrace foodborne diseases, and I don't.
I don't think you willingly embrace them. I just don't think you actively avoid them.
Tomato.
Don't forget, you can call it tomato, whatever you're doing, though. Just if you're hanging out with big brothers, big sisters, you get a little, make sure you get them, make sure you get them a little pizza, maybe a little ice cream, go to a ball game or something. It only takes 4 hours a month to make a difference. And the littlest moments can have the biggest impact. Try not to give them food poisoning, but go hang out with them a little bit, have a good time, and make a big impact. bbbsmidlands.org is where you can find out more and sign up to be a big. We'll be back. More Sports Live.
Our question of the day, Huskers wins on this season, over or under 9.5?
Go Big Red, over! Have you looked at Matt Rule year 3? Come on. Baylor, Temple, over 10 wins. We're going 10-2 easily.
I think we're going 9-3.
Oh, we're going over 100% Nebraska all the way.
I agree. Over 9 for sure. Because
Solid.
Jalen Gramstad is the best. Grandpa, he's got it.
We're going to be undefeated going to College Station, Penn State. Better be a wideout. What's happening? Because the Huskers are coming, all right?
Last year, they got to a bowl game. This year, it's a whole nother level. And that's getting 10 wins.
Playoffs.
I don't know about football. I know about beer. I'm a Hawkeye fan in disguise, so I don't comment here.
I don't think they're going to hit 9 wins.
I think we go 11-1 this year and go to the playoffs this year.
Okay, we don't play Indiana. So, I mean, hey, 12-1, hey, that's my prediction.
Over 9.5 wins. Hammer the money line.
Skurs are back, baby. Skurs by 90. Let's go Big Red, huh?
And remember, for the best sports book in Nebraska, be sure to visit Warhorse Casino in Lincoln and in Omaha.
So I'm excited with Big Brothers Big Sisters. We're partnering up with you guys to we've done this before in the past where there's been trying to get more Big Brothers Big Sisters signed up. This year we've got a special event. Before we get into that, I kind of just wanted to find out a little bit more about you and how you got involved with Big Brothers Big Sisters.
Sure. So I have actually been working for Big Brothers Big Sisters of the Midlands for almost 2 years now.
Mm-hmm.
But before that, I was actually a big, and I have had a couple of little sisters in the past, over the past 10 years. So I've kind of seen it from both sides. I've been able to actually see the mentorship side, and got a lot of passion, obviously, for the organization at that point, and have worked in nonprofits for a long time, and they were hiring. And so I was so excited to be able to kind of come on board with the Midlands organization as well. So, yeah.
I think it's been solid. Of course, there's always room for improvement, and we want to be considered one of the best passing teams in the country, but we've also faced some really tough servers compared to a lot of teams. When Pitt and Kentucky had two of the best topspin servers in the country, so I think some of those numbers are skewed a little bit by aces, where hopefully we don't give up 4 or 5 aces against the same server too often this year, but. Definitely something we're going to continue to get better at, but overall, fairly satisfied. We hit, this weekend our passing numbers weren't as good as you would think, but we didn't have that many opportunities, and we hit over almost 400 as a team, so that's pretty good.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. We're joined now by Monte Kratzenstein. He's the executive director of Nebraska Greats Foundation. Monte, how you doing this morning?
I couldn't be better. Hanging out with you guys, talking a little sports. You never know what you're going to talk about when you're hanging out with DB.
See, that's the thing, right? Like, we go back so far. We could talk at any time about anything. The hardest thing for me during this interview will be to stay on schedule. It's always tough for me.
Why? Why stay on schedule?
But we have so much, like, there's so many areas in which we overlap, man. It's fantastic to see, and you're always in a good mood. I don't get it.
I'm blessed, man. No,
is it the 308 thing?
It is. That's part of it. That's part of it. Good-natured people out there. Yeah. So Ravi, we have.
I know Vers. I don't know.
Well, that's a good point.
Right.
Always
wet blanket.
There's always an anomaly to every aspect of it. But Ravi, DB and I could go about 5 different directions. We could go both Mary and Gothenburg girls.
Okay, there you go.
We could go with a Kearney connection and Drake Veronic. We could go our love for we could go our love for Kenny Clark. We can talk about it at any point.
How about that though?
I got a lump. I got a lump in my throat.
So that was harder. So Quinn, that was harder than anything I was going through with Caleb real time.
Isn't that something? How you see something like
Caleb
that?
probably doesn't appreciate that.
He knows. He knows. If he doesn't know by now, he's
that
a smart
was harder than
you saw that, and it's like there's certain things that just strike you, and you saw him, and I'm like, oh, that just gets you.
I had to
awesome.
I had to pause, and I'm thinking to myself, there's only two guys really that I grew up had a strange affinity for. It was Roger Craig and Kenny Clark.
Yeah,
and with KC it was, and because you broke the huddle with him. It's whether it was the balance or it was always going to be the other guy, and you just couldn't unseat him. It didn't matter who he played against. He was the consummate competitor, and he said very few words.
You couldn't get him to say sick him. It was just
he was fantastic.
Omaha Brian too.
Oh yeah, he was a bear.
So I met him at the Shrine Bowl in 1985. He was on the other team, but then and he was one of the last great I-backs that went through the freshman football, red shirt, and then away you go. I mean, he was one of the last ones to really do that, because I think, because the guy after him was Calvin and Derek and those
and the
guys,
guy before him was supposed to be Doug DeBoe. I mean, he saw it all old school.
And oh, by the way, the reason why I got involved, first time I ever heard about the Nebraska Greats Foundation was at Kenny Clark's funeral.
Which I was part of that procession.
Yep, Salem Baptist Church. Yep. I drove from Kearney, Nebraska, and I didn't know anything about that. And the foundation was just a couple guys trying to raise some money at that point. And walked in there, and there was a lot of our guys were there, and somebody said, hey, there's this group that raised a little bit of money to help out a little bit for this funeral, and I learned about it, and then met a few more people, and away we go.
And you saw one of the most difficult roundabouts in the city of Omaha off the 42nd Street exit between ILQ. It is 17 lanes over where the cemetery is. It's could we not have done? And Lincoln has roundabouts everywhere, but
I hate roundabouts.
It's misplaced.
I hate roundabouts. It didn't faze me because I'm a one-room schoolhouse guy from Brady, Nebraska. I'm all about the roundabouts and the freeway. DB, that's no big deal.
You say Brady, say Brady, and I automatically just think Bruce Clymer. I'm thinking to myself,
his father-in-law.
Yeah,
his father-in-law's mother was my favorite elementary teacher in the entire world, in a one-room schoolhouse. Yeah, I'm only 59. One-room schoolhouse where there was 3 kids in my class. I was 2 away from being valedictorian, and almost at it. And Mrs. Clymer, Jean Clymer, Bruce's mom, was my favorite teacher of all time. So there's another one. So we can go down this path forever, but
that's funny.
So with the Nebraska Greats, it's near and dear to your heart, right? We're raising money. We're providing folks for, it could be medical needs. It could be surgeries, the funerals. What exactly ideally would you like it to encompass, just so those that otherwise wouldn't have the opportunity will have the opportunity?
Well, it is very simple. You raise money and you give it away. I mean, that's really what it is. And it's morphed over the years. It started, our founder, Jerry Murtaugh, about 12 years ago, started out as, again, buddies raising some money, helping people out. Dave Hum, everybody's heard the Andre Franklin story. And that's how it started. But as with most things that are really good, they just grow and they have their own sort of organic momentum that goes along with it. And then, a board of people, a board of great people got involved. And then really last year, I've been on this board for about six years. And last year, we needed some restructuring. We needed a little bit of they needed an executive director. Jim Rose did a very nice job for 5 years and he's a talented individual raising money. He left the operation, and we just needed some help in the day-to-day operations sort of thing. And so I said, when Bruce Rasmussen and Eric Crouch and Boyd Epley and those kind of guys say, hey, can you do this part-time? And I absolutely yes. Yeah. And that's why we do it. Now, to go back to answering your question, we have grown the thing. We've helped over 70 some recipients.
Josh Jones.
You get our website. And from the Nebraska, University of Nebraska, and the Creighton, Josh Jones are the headliners. But there's people that we're so proud of all the way through from Peru State to Wayne State and to UNK, and
it's any 4-year college, correct?
Yes.
It is as an athlete where you have the opportunity to receive.
Yep, and you need you're a letter winner. You need medical or financial help to take care of some needs. And we do everything from buying medical equipment. We do everything from transportation to treatments. We do surgery treatment.
There's a lot of guys that have been able to take advantage of the Nebraska Greats Foundation.
We have a great website, NebraskaGreatsFoundation.org, and we've revamped that. That's one of the pillars that we really looked at when I got heavily involved. We looked at our branding. We looked at our marketing. We looked at our vendors that we used. We looked at our board structure. We looked at our donor base, all those sorts of things. And, we couldn't do what we do without that tremendous board. And we have people that really, really care for people that need some help. And that's what it really is. And DB and I have talked about some different people throughout the years. You mentioned Josh Jones. You mentioned Willie Miller. There's just a lot of people. If you go on our website, we put their stories on there. And
how about the one with Hannah Tilson from Midland? Playing soccer. I mean, that was just a couple of years ago.
Right. We have, and the mission statement talks about helping current and former athletes. I really love the idea. I'm involved in several different foundations, and we all get asked to do different things. But I look at Team Jack and what they do for pediatric brain cancer, which is an amazing deal, and that has just exploded, and it's wonderful. That's pediatric brain cancer. And then you have the teammates, which is near and dear to a lot of our hearts because of Coach and Nancy, and that takes care of those students from 7th grade on till their goal is to get them through graduation. And then I look at the Nebraska Greats Foundation as being kind of that next step when they become athletes. And then we help a lot of people that, unfortunately are in their 70s, 80s on their deathbed. And then we help some current athletes that need some help. So we're really proud of what we do. We're proud of our efficiency and our structure. We keep it pretty simple. We know our niche. We don't have a huge budget. We have 3 people on staff, 2 full-time and 1 part-time. And then I kind of do this on the side. And so I really feel good about the way we do things.
Well, and that's one of the things you think about with Nebraska, right? Is you've got this, it's one of the few places that cares so much about their athletes, not just when they're playing, but for the rest of their lives, right? I mean, it's a place where we try and take care of the people that mean a lot to us, and a lot of times it ends up being athletes. This is a formal, structured way that people can be involved in that,
Super
right?
practical, really practical.
Instead of just being like, oh man, I hope that guy's doing okay. Because I know I hear that all the time. You're talking about, oh, you remember this guy? It's like, oh, I wonder what he's doing now. Right?
We do that all the time, and we'll sit down with former players. I had dinner Jerry Godowski last night and his wife. They're back in town. We talked about that a little bit. He's working over at Midland, and we sat down. Hey, have you talked to so and so lately? What's so and so doing? And I do that I'm very fortunate to have stayed connected to a lot of people throughout these generations through the different things that I do, and it's always that. That's how we get our referrals. We like to do things like this, and we appreciate Hurrdat Sports for letting us talk about it. But it is really, hey, have you talked to someone? Yeah, he's not doing so well.
Yeah, that's how we stumbled into Jay Sims.
100%. 100%. That's what it is. Because remember, these are people that, they're proud. They've had.
That's a good point.
They've had been at the pinnacle of their lives, and then they've had some really tough times. Some of it is self-induced. We all know people that a lot of their bad stuff is self-induced, but there's also people that, again, cancer doesn't care what kind of person you
get
are.
A medical diagnosis.
And grace is grace.
Yeah,
right.
100%. Oh, 100%. And the appreciation that they feel, but the word of mouth and say, hey, do you know so-and-so's not doing very well? Think you can give them a call? And we have a process in place with Sandy, our recipient administrator, that she goes out and she talks to these people. She gets to know these people. She loves on these people. And we have a board that's willing to listen to these stories. We have physicians who look at their medical records and say, hey, is this legitimate? Is this what they really need? We look at their financial records to make sure that, they really do need some help. And, again, the processes are in place. We love it. It's a good thing. And, sometimes selfishly, it kind of feels good to help people.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And near and dear to my heart, I just talked to him. I joked earlier in the first segment that I just got a hug from him Saturday, and I was ill prepared for. I didn't bristle up enough. I thought he was going to snap my clavicle. You've got an event coming up with Coach Manning. He was on a recruiting visit with a couple of wrestlers in town with
Isn't
Troy
he
Dan.
the best?
He
the
is.
best?
There's a few people, right, where you come in contact with him, you spend a couple minutes talking to him, and you leave and you think, I probably need to be a better person.
Well,
right.
Ron Brown is that way in my life, and Mark
Coach
Manning is that way in
is
so many people's lives.
absolutely one of them. It's like, now I got to dial in and do this radio show. I probably better give it my all. Right? It's just he just has that impact that he cares. Let's talk about the event coming up.
Absolutely. We do different events. To give money away, you got to raise money. And so we do some fundraisers along the way, and we do some different things, but we've done some high profile events with baseball themes. Kyle Peterson and Brian Dunsing have helped us out throughout time. Alex Gordon has helped us out. Dan Whitney, Larry the Cable Guy, has done a lot of things. We've had volleyball programs, but this one we kind of looked at and said we want to do something just a little bit different for a different audience. Again, near and dear to your heart, right?
Absolutely. Who beyond the mat?
Who needs some love and some recognition? They've been doing it forever. Mark Manning, that wrestling program, has been doing it forever. But let's honor them for what they're doing. And oh, by the way, we can kind of jump on the bandwagon too, because they're really good, and they're going. And this next year,
really good.
He might be a little bit harder to book next year after they get done. But Beyond the Mat, September 23rd, it's going to be kind of a smaller sort of event. I think we're expecting about 175, 200 people over at Happy Hollow, and we'll have a meet and greet before, and then a lot of our events we just sit down, and some guy, but last name is Sharp. I don't know. He's not very good at what he does, but we feel sorry for him. He's gonna MC the deal, and he gets people to talk, and we're gonna have.
Well, you really went bottom of the barrel.
Well, we made about 7 phone calls, and the first 6 didn't answer. So I said, okay. But
were 5 of those 6 unanswered calls, DB?
No. What are you talking about? DB always answers his phone. Always.
I come by it honestly.
Yeah, I get it. But to that point, so we're going to have this event, and we're doing sponsorships. We want to thank certainly, Dayspring Bank is a big proponent of what we do. They've helped us out along the way. Omaha Truck Center, Premier Advisors Group, Bill and Danielle Altman have helped us out.
But Omaha Truck Center has been quietly really, really good.
Trey Mitty and those guys, right. and one of those Kelsey guys kind of has gotten involved in that too. But RBC Wealth Management is also going to do that. So you have to have sponsors, and then we're selling tables. We sell individual tickets, and really it's been a fun thing because you go out to people and you say, hey, this is kind of an intimate setting where you can hang out with some of those guys, and we'll have some of our guys there that are good to hang out with. But we're looking forward to it. It'll be a good event, just part of what we do. We need to raise money to give it away.
There's so many people chomping at the bit too. I live just catty corner from Rotella's, right? And
I know.
It's like, you get Lou, you talk to Louis, the third and the fourth, and it's like, hey, I just want to know more. Like, you can always reach out to me, and and sometimes you just forget that there are so many people that are willing to be a part of what you're doing. Awareness is a big part of it. So that's why events like this are so important.
Well,
right? with the level of connectivity that you bring to the table.
Well, and I appreciate that. And because I can't look anybody in the eye and say, hey, what we're doing is more important than what you are doing or this other sort of thing. But it does touch certain people different ways. And a lot of us know people that really could use help like we're providing, and that's the people we're after. So, I appreciate being able to talk about it because it is a big deal to us, and we're looking forward to the event and look forward to Happy Hollow on 23rd.
So September 23rd, Happy Hollow. How do people buy tables?
First of all, Nebraska Greats Foundation.org, and the very first thing you go up there, you click registration for the event. You can buy individual tables. I think there's about four or five tables left right now.
Got a QR code too, Ravi, for you new age people.
What's that?
I know, right?
I don't know. That's why we have a marketing person.
Listen, I was today years old when I figured out my phone could actually take a picture of, because it didn't work with just a regular camera. I was like, I can't use a QR code.
Somebody, I love you. There's one more reason why I can just relate to
it's
you.
Like, they're like, no, your phone, since it's archaic, it has its own QR code picture thing. And I was like, what does it look like?
Yeah, you have to have like your own app because you have an Android and whatever, and it's.
He's such a snob.
I know, he
is. But
he is.
You talk to me just fine, right?
Absolutely. And oh, by the way, he's my food guy. It's another thing we have in common.
Yes.
So when we moved to Omaha, we were in Kearney for 23 years. Moved to Omaha, and a little bit of a foodie. And I would call him up every so often, or text him and say, "Hey, what about this? What about this?" So I'm in North Omaha, and I'm in North Omaha.
Yeah.
And I send him a text, and he does respond to me. I'm in North Omaha. I say, "Hey, I need some barbecue." And he says, close your ears, North Omaha. He's like, and he's going to give me the name of a guy, probably literally to stop by his house.
Yeah, you're going to
that's
pull
the best,
up the backyard.
Yeah, that's the best barbecue. I'm like, DB, I don't know.
You're going to pull up an alley.
I don't know if this is really what I'm looking for.
Yeah, that was kind of your response. But in my heart, listen, that is so funny.
Go see Big Jim.
No,
over on.
That's not what I would say. Don't disrespect the Jim. But do you want the small world? Do you know where I used to go on Saturdays? Before I actually got a real job working with the network.
I don't know if I want to know, but yes.
Ken Clark's sister.
Oh, that's
has
so spectacular.
Unbelievable setup. It's where I met. We got these called like Art and some of these guys that would have these barbecues, and they would do these fundraisers, and they would sell barbecue. She is fantastic.
That's great. See, that's now he's quirky and weird, as we all know with his food. So I mean, I've got a cup of coffee here, and I got to have a cup of coffee in my hand. He doesn't. I don't know if I even trust him because he doesn't drink it. But
I can't stand the way it smells.
I know. Isn't that so weird? But I mean, you're but he admits that he's quirky and weird, and that's one thing I love about him.
Sometimes he does.
You know exactly what you're dealing with.
But then other times he's like, no, it's totally fine not to refrigerate any of my meat after I've cooked it.
It's fine.
Hey, I talked about North Omaha, me going to North Omaha in 1988. In 1988.
You guys just beat Okie State? What happened?
No. That's close. That's close. I got a call from some guy by the name of Damon Benning that I had no idea who he was. Said, hey, I talked to Coach Brown. He wanted to know if you and a couple of your buddies can come into North Omaha to some elementary schools.
Wow.
So I got to meet Damon Benning. I got to ride around North Omaha in elementary schools, and I'm a guy from Brady, Nebraska, and I have my football jersey on, and it was cool. It was one of the best things ever. And so there's another connection.
I'm having a Cuba Gooding, Roy Firestone moment on Jerry Maguire. You're not gonna make me cry. That was those pep rallies for the student athletes at the university, and he'd use Omaha and Lincoln at the time to go into those communities was fantastic.
Hey, we don't get to pick our families, right? Mm-hmm. And some cases that's good, some cases it's bad. But Damon and I won the dad lottery, so we can talk about that too.
Fantastic stuff.
Yep. Awesome.
One more time, because I need to. You're not supposed to do that. Give me a little warning.
So it's NebraskaGreatsFoundation.org. We'll give DB a minute here. It's NebraskaGreatsFoundation.org. You can buy tables at Happy Hollow on September 23rd to support this great project that they have going, where they're helping out former athletes in any of the Nebraska 4-year schools with any financial and medical needs as they kind of go through life. Because as we all know, life can get a little tricky sometimes.
Visit the website too. Some pretty sweet stories, and like I said, grace is what it is, and don't ever be too proud to ask for help. Especially some of you men out there that have gone through some struggles, and a lot of times you don't get your flowers real time because of the stigmas that are associated with being able to ask for help. So make sure you visit the website, and it is what it is, and it's headed by one of the nicest people I know, and Monte. So it's not even the former Nebraska thing; it's just a good person thing. So
I appreciate you. I listen to you guys all the time. You guys are really, really good. I I tell DB this all the time too, and not that he needs any more confidence.
I don't know, man. You never know.
There's nobody I'd rather listen to analyze and talk about football, especially from a color standpoint. When he got that gig doing the color stuff, I'm like, I'm never a sync the radio to the TV sort of a guy, but all of a sudden I was, because he just gets it. Yeah. He just gets it, and that's a real talent, and I do appreciate guys who are really good at what they do. So thank you guys for letting me come on here and talk about Nebraska Greats.
Absolutely, we appreciate the work you're doing, and you mentioned something at the end there where that you and DB kind of, won the dad lottery and you can't pick your family. I think what some of us forget sometimes, especially those of us that are particularly blessed, where it's like, hey, not everybody did win the lottery there. Not everybody did win the lottery with their family, and they don't have that infrastructure to help them out.
Can't pick it. Can't pick it.
And so you do have these really proud guys that have been super highly accomplished at certain points in their life that maybe don't have that structure around them to help them out. And that's why places like the Nebraska Greats Foundation exist, to fill in some of those gaps.
And once we help you, or once you ask for help, you're part of a family. And we talk about the Husker Brotherhood, you can talk about the Blue Jay Brotherhood, and all those schools. There's brotherhoods involved, but once you're part of the Nebraska Greats Foundation, you're family, and that's a pretty cool thing too.
And one of the things I like about what you guys do also, it's I like to tell people I'm a Nebraska guy, the state, not necessarily just the university, right? So I like that it's not just Lincoln, it's not just Omaha, it's not just Kearney, it's Creighton and Wayne State and Peru State. As somebody that coached at some NAI schools back in the day, I appreciate that as well. So thank you for all you do. Thank you for coming by. NebraskaGreatsFoundation.org, so we can find out more or buy tickets to the Happy Hollow event with Mark Manning on the 23rd. Did we miss anything? Did we cover it all?
Again, we could cover a lot more stuff, but I think I really appreciate your time. It's nice to be up here. You guys are, again, really good at what you do.
We'll have to have you back. Just talk a little ball sometime.
Love it.
Yeah, he's good at that too.
So I could tell. Just I like talking to him. Maybe a little more than I like talking to you. Maybe we'll bring him in sometime. He seems a little bit more good-natured,
I'm in small doses. Hey, we can all be good in small doses.
Oh no, that used to be my excuse too, and I wore out my welcome. So careful.
I'm going on 2 years, 3 hours a morning with this guy, and I'm still here, so it's fine. Monte, thank you so much. We appreciate you coming. NebraskaGreatsFoundation.org is where you can find more information on what they're doing. That's DB. I'm Ravi. Lulla. That's Monte. We will be back tomorrow on Hurrdat Sports Live.
See you. Have a good day. Love you.